welcome to my stream. Um, Let me turn the other audio on. There we go. Hello, Knuckle. Welcome back. Tonight it is The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante, which we are probably nearing the end of the game. We're in the, what is it, like the Revolt years, I think is what it's called. And we have one life left. You have like 4 lives, or yeah, basically 4 lives in this game. We have already used up 3 of them. So they're like, what are they? Lesser deaths is what they're called. And then the last one is true death if you lose your last life, basically. And so that is our last one. So things are looking tight in this game, but we achieved our goal. Here, I'll open the game so you can hear the sound. We achieved our goal. My like big goal for the game that I wanted to accomplish, which was convicting Otton, who was like this really jerk military commander guy, and I wanted to convict him and get him thrown in jail or exiled or something. So, hi Shy, welcome. Yeah, dangerous gameplay, exactly. Things are getting risky because again, I have 1 life left and it's the Revolt. So like, we lost 2 of our lives, 1 as a child, and then 2 of our lives in the peaceful years. So if we lost 2 lives during peacetime, what's going to happen during the Revolt? I don't know. It's feeling a little risky. And then also, though, we achieved our goal of, I think Otton was exiled. So that was all I really cared about. I wanted justice to prevail against that guy in particular. And I think we lost 1 of our lives to him, perhaps, or something like that. Maybe we didn't. I think we did. I don't know. I forget how we died all the times. I don't know if anyone else watching remembers, and we died once when we saved Sophia. We pushed her out of the way of the horses and we got trampled ourselves. The next, we also lost a life when we were dueling someone. I forget who, but I think so. But yeah, I don't know. I'd have to. Yeah, the revolt begins. Oh no. Yeah. See, peacetime we lost 2, and then now we're at the revolt. But also in terms of like, even if we do survive and don't die at all, like this is a much shorter chapter than peacetime was. So we'll either finish the game tonight or probably the next time we play, I think. Maybe. Well, it depends on how long it takes. But I have a feeling we're gonna die because, like, I'd like to die for a cause, you know? Like, there's no reason just to, like, survive if we're not doing better, if our death can help the world, you know? So, we need to use our last life wisely. And like I said, I'm willing to, and on the one hand, what's the worst that could happen? That's true. What, are we gonna die? But, on the one hand, like, my biggest cause that I was fighting for is accomplished. It's achieved. So anything after this, I don't really care very much about. So, like, I was ready to sacrifice my life in convicting Otton, but for some reason it was really easy to convict him, comparatively. Probably because I had been prepping for that and, like, struggling to make sure it would happen, but it kind of fell into place surprisingly easy, without many repercussions. I thought I'd have to, like, sacrifice something major, either willpower or a life in order to convict him, but it just, like, was all fine. So, whatever. Nice. But, so on the one hand, nothing in the revolt is something that I'm like, I feel like is worth sacrificing our life for. But, on the other hand, I mean, because, like, there'll definitely be things that people we care about and stuff like that. But, on the other hand, though, like, on the one hand, the cause isn't that big. Like, our great cause has been finished. So, like, am I willing to sacrifice my life for anything else? And on the other hand, Like, I've accomplished my goal. I don't care what happens to my life after this. It could do whatever. Like, my life's mission, my life's work has been accomplished. Because we wanted to convict Otton, and he was exiled, he wasn't killed, but, that's fine, we'll take it. Because it shows that the Arknians can be prosecuted. And we already did that in the earlier trial where we lost our life in that trial. Right. We convicted this one guy, one of our lives. Surviving would be nice. Yeah, I mean, that's true too. But I know there's going to be things that they will ask us to sacrifice our life for. And one of the things earlier on in peacetime was there was a rebel guy, and we could sacrifice a life to make sure he was convicted. And we needed to do that, even though, like, we're pro the rebels. They're friends, like our friend Sophia, who we died for as a child or as an adolescent. She's one of the leaders of the rebels, and, so we care about the rebels. But the rebels called the Last Straw, and we care about them. They're pro-commoners and all of that. But this guy, we wanted him to be convicted because it would set a precedent, because he was an Arknian noble. So if he got sentenced to death, it meant that Arknians could be sentenced in a normal court of law, not the court of honor, which they usually were tried in, which is like probably going to be an unfair court, but in the normal court that is run by commoners, nobles, but human nobles rather than Arknian nobles. And French Revolution, yeah, pretty much. And so we needed to show that when the nobles and the Arknian race can be tried. And so we sacrificed our life for that. That Arknian noble rebel sacrificed his life for that to make sure that could happen. And I needed to do that in order to make sure Otton could be convicted later, because he was an Arknian noble, and we needed to set a precedent, because, like, on the one hand, the other guy was a rebel. Otton was not a rebel. He was, like, part of the establishment, I guess. I mean, a different faction, but part of the establishment nonetheless. Of, like, old nobility. And if, like, a rebel Arknian noble can be tried, then, like, it's one step on the way to making sure a established Arknian noble can be tried. Because jumping right to that would be a lot more difficult without the precedent. So that was worth sacrificing a life for, because that was putting the, dominoes into place in order to be able to convict Otton later, which we did. So the first one of many nobles getting tried, yes, hopefully. So and there was other stuff that happened. I forget one of our other deaths. I think we weren't dueling, though, because when we were dueling, we killed our brother. And we didn't die. But I don't know what the other life was that we lost. But we lost 2, I believe, in peacetime. I forget what the other one was, but it was, like, one of the ones that's, like, we had to pick it. Anyway, so now we're at the Revolt. So who knows? On the one hand, I don't have any major causes that I'm willing to die for. On the other hand, I've achieved my life's goal, so I don't really care so much anymore. I feel satisfied with the course of my life. So anyway, let's continue and see what happens. The revolt begins. Word about the sentence you passed upon the Arknian commander instantly spreads throughout Anisote. The commoners are celebrating. For the first time, the law has proven to be more powerful than the ancient authority of the Arknians. All over the city, triumphant crowds are assembling. The people praise Judge Brante and declare an end to their oppression. The outcries become more daring by the hour. Freedom from tyranny, down with the noble yoke. The authorities anxiously observe the people's reverie. Borne receives orders from the magistrate to disperse the crowds with gendarmes, but he refuses to do so on the grounds that the people are unarmed and assembling peacefully. Vermin is livid. The animosity among the ruling circles is quickly transforming into naked enmity. So, Borne, we like him, he's our boss, he's cool, he's a human noble, but like us, a noble of the mantle, so we earned our way there. Vermin, we hate him. because his name is Elverman, of course. Humiliated, Otton refuses to comply with his sentence and go into exile. What? No, don't you dare! Don't you dare! We're not ready to die yet. The city is on the brink of a revolt. Whatever that dishonorable court may have decided, my duty is to remain in Magra and stop this maddened mob. Yeah, noble people stuff. The nobility of Aniso eagerly gather under Otton's banners, outraged by his sentence. They assemble a militia ready to quell the disturbances with force. The news that Otton has refused to comply with the court's sentence infuriates the common folk. The crowds in the squares become larger. Gangs of armed commoners take to the streets. Remiel Vermin is already dead. Yes, thank goodness. His life taken by the verdict of the People's Court. So, like, true death, though, or, like, just a lesser death? He was strangled by the mob that broke into the city hall. The Chancellor's lifeless body now hangs just outside the windows of his office for all to see. Oh, okay, so true death. See, when you have true death, the body doesn't disappear. When it's a lesser death, the body disappears and goes to its family's, like, crypt place. But if the body stays, that means they're true death. So he's true dead, which is fine. I didn't like him. Sophia, yeah. There's no stopping the revolt now. But you know that after Otton's trial, your name carries weight in the eyes of the commoners. How will you use their support at this crucial moment? Sophia, she's leading the revolt. That's cool. I was trusting that it's leading the revolt. What does that have to do with us? How does she feel about us? That's what I want to know. Status, true death. Yes, take that. Okay, ooh, okay, things are changing. Common folk. Okay, so they trust me, right? This must have to do with me. So the revolt currently is a stalemate. Okay. Rebels are losing, rebels are winning, or a bloodbath. It's interesting if the rebels are losing, there's no bloodbath on the other side. But right now it's a stalemate. Pretty middle ground for stalemate, though the rebels are still struggling. Common folk, they trust me. I'm not an indisputable leader, but you know what? That's fine. That's fine. Sophia's the leader. I'm not the leader. I'm just doing my thing in court. I'm playing the role that I am able to play. Doesn't seem to look too bad. Yeah, it's working. It's working. We're on the way. Clergy, cautious support. Okay. What clergy is my question? The new faith or the old faith? Depends on the support of the clergy, whether you'll be able to prevail in the struggle for the city. Okay, well, you know, that's fine. Oh, I didn't even look at the nobles, sorry. Yeah. Cautious support from the nobles. So is this human nobles? I mean, I guess it's fine if the, whatchamacallit. I wonder, are these, like, if I gain more trust with the common folk, do I lose trust with the nobles? Is that kind of how it is? Do I have 3 points between these two? And then what does the clergy have to do with it? Maybe not. And then the troops are that I have managed. So these are my troops. I have a squad. A regiment or army. I'd like to have a regiment. An army is like a bit too much, you know, a little too much of anything. But we have more than a handful of fighters, and that's kind of good. Though a handful of like plucky fighters is spirited fighters is usually gonna work. Like what is it in Terry Pratchett in Guards, I think it is. The like 1 in a million chance is 100% guaranteed to succeed. That's the type of thing here, where a handful of fighters is like guaranteed to win, you know? Almost even more than an army. If you have an army, then like things are looking good, but if you have a handful of spirited fighters who will die for the cause, that's a better guarantee. Okay, so we're looking okay. And I'm interested for the nobles. Like, are they complete opposition to the commoners? Like, can I win over both of them though? Because like some of the nobles are human. Like a lot of this is like humans versus Archnians. And like some of the nobles, like I'm a noble even. And Borne is a noble, and our dad is a noble. You know, like so there are nobles who are cool, chill people. You know. yeah, a handful of really, really good fighters. See, but it's not about how good of a fighter you are. It's about how much heart you have, you know, the power of friendship, you know? That's what matters. It's just using Pikachu for every single fight, even though he's not necessarily very high level. But it's just using the power of friendship and smart maneuvering that normally isn't available unless you're the protagonist. Okay. At dawn. For years now, Anazote has been simmering like a cookpot over a slow flame. The powerlessness of the simple folk, unable to change the old order, has gradually given way to rage. Finally, this anger became stronger than their age-old submission to the higher estate and their fear of divine retribution. This rage was the spark that lit the fire of the revolt. All of Anazote's commoners have risen up in rebellion. Workers, artisans, merchants, beggars. They all long to break free of noble tyranny and the perpetual suffering that is their lot. Level 50 starter and low-level other Pokemon, yeah. Yeah, I guess. Okay, the most daring among them have joined the last straw. That's the rebels. The secret society has sent entire squads of trained soldiers out into the streets. They hand out guns and bombs to the people, weapons that give them a chance to wage war on equal footing against noblemen descended from generations of warriors. But the most dangerous weapon the rebels possess is the People's Court. The commoners have claimed the right to sentence their enemies to true death. The first nobles executed by the last straw this very night served as proof that these sentences are real. Okay, see, and this is partly because of me, because I made sure that the nobles can be tried in court. I laid out all the precedents for that. So even if I'm not part of the last straw and I'm not like a rebel myself, I've played my part. Everyone has a different part to play with different strengths and different positions that you can be in. I was a judge, so I used my strength to create the rebellion. You know, I did what I could. For the first time in history of the Empire, divine force of law is in possession not only of the noblemen, but also of the common estate. Among the rebels are many new believers. They are ready to take up arms to defend their faith and freedom from the laws. They are led by Leonard, the abbot of the temple by the Silver Tree. Prefect Borne's allegiance remains unknown. What do you mean? Of course he's on the side of the commoners. Okay, well, maybe the general populace does not know that Borne is on the side of the commoners, but he absolutely is. We've been working. Nobles never saw that coming, yeah. Borne and I have been working to not make this happen, but make sure that nobles are held accountable and that they aren't excused because they're nobles. So of course Borne is not siding with the nobles. Of course. But I know that because he's my boss and I work with him, but maybe the general population doesn't know. The Supreme Judge has taken such pains to give the lowly estate more rights. Will he support a revolt that strives to do the same? Absolutely. It's the cause that he wants, yeah. Anazote has recently been rocked by a series of spontaneous assemblies and protests. The mob demands equal rights for all estates and freedom from the tyranny of the nobles. The authorities must recognize the new faith and grant the commoners the right to choose their own lot. By nightfall, the rebels had disposed of the guards and taken over the city gate. In a matter of minutes, Anazote was under their control. It is the duty of Overseer Gaius Tempest to crush the revolt. The Archnia nobleman feared for his own position and power, so he was reluctant to punish the rebellious city as discontent slowly grew year by year. But the ensuing uprising has left him no choice. The Overseer has announced a full-scale mobilization. In the morning, the Legion will march toward Anazote under his command and attempt to return the city to Imperial authority with fire and sword. The expeditious arrival of the Legion is the only hope the nobles have left now that they are locked inside the city. Members of the higher estate, especially the old aristocratic families, fear the coming rampage and strive to keep order on the streets. Meanwhile, the Inquisition, led by Sister Jean, is trying to stop the new believers and urging the people to reject the revolt. Both groups are aware that if the rest of the province follows Anazote into rebellion and chaos, the Empire itself and the divine order will begin to crumble. After nightfall, the city grows quiet. Its courtyards and squares are empty. In mansions and palaces, hasty negotiations are held and schemes are concocted. In dark cellars, the revolt is being prepared. Armed units are gathering. Parishes are getting ready to defend the temples of the new faith against the Inquisition. All citizens, rich and poor, common and noble, are arming themselves, some with ancestral swords, others with cleavers. Anizote is preparing, waiting for the dawn. As the Legion arrives for the assault, the rebels assemble into a militia and get ready to fend off the Imperial army. But there is little unity in their camp. Their leaders are already mired in a power struggle. There are also defenders of the Imperial Order within the city walls, members of the old aristocracy, soldiers of the Inquisition, priests of the old faith, commoners unwilling to defy the law and the twins' design. These people, too, refuse to lay down their arms. The first rays of the rising sun light up the horizon. This day will go down in history. Your entire life has led you to this moment. Step by step, you have made yourself the man you are now. Your actions today could alter the course of history. But are you ready to go the distance? What will you become? Well, what will have become of you by the time the sun sets? Ooh. It's still a stalemate, but it's a little less. The rebels are almost winning. I don't know if we want it to get to be a bloodbath. Rebels winning will be just fine. Chapter 5, The Revolt. Okay, this is... The first rays of the rising sun light up the horizon. This day will go down in history. Your entire life has blah, 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 your actions today could alter the course of history. Are you ready? Okay. Yeah, I was read. Alright, these are the things that could happen. We'll read through them. Okay. I'm going to take a drink before we read through them. Okay. Legion is defeated. Basically, rebels can win. And that is if the revolt is over 6, which means the rebels are winning. And if I'm leading the revolt, I have to lead. Troops have to be over 2, or 2. Which I think we're at 2 now. No, we're at 1. Right, we need a regime, or a regiment. And then the common folk, I need level 3 trust, because that's how I get to be leading the revolt, is I have level 3 trust with the common folk. Peace with the overseer. Well, this is a lot of conditions. My goodness. Okay. This would be ideal, I think. Overseer Gaius Tempest forced to accept the demands of the revolt. I have to be leading the revolt and thus need full trust of the common people. The rebels need to be winning, of course. Troops, I only need greater than 1 troops for this, which I already have. Yeah, it's a lot of different outcomes. Some of them, you might have multiple. It's not just, 1 from the list. It's, different conditions might be met for different ones. This one... Okay, clergy, I need at least 2 trust with the clergy, at least 1 with the nobles, which I already have, but I need more trust with the clergy. And power needs to be +3 or +4, I guess? That one's kind of a weird one. I don't know what that is. City is defended. Legion and hold Anizote. Okay, so this is just the hold back. This is only if I have 2. I have to be leading the revolt, which means I still needed to have 3 trust at some point in time, I think. But by the end, I only have 2. I have to have more than 10 willpower. I guess I'm going to use some willpower for this. And troops I still need the... This one is the one I don't need much troops for if we do peace. But if we have over 2 troops... 2 or more troops, then we can at least defend. The revolt is defeated, we lose if I only have 1 trust with the common folk. If power is below -1. If the revolt is at 0. If I have more than I need more than 2 troops. I need 3 trust with the noble and 3 trust with the clergy. Okay, so that's me flipping sides, really. The surrender of the revolt. This is if I have 2, I need 2 with all of them. And then 1 troop, 0 revolt. Okay, yeah. The Anizote massacre. This is if the revolt becomes... The revolt wins. Oh, so if the rebels are winning, but Sophia is leading and not me, then it's going to be a massacre. Okay, so I trusted Sophia, but I guess maybe I shouldn't. Dark times. Oh, if neither side succeeds, then things go bad. Okay, and then also I can have true death. Could be a thing. So, okay. This one's what can happen to my family. Families in the city. We choose to remain in Anizote. We all die. Oh. We can flee. Or we can rescue our family. Okay, so like this, so we might, for instance, rescue our family and then continue to live in the city, for instance. So like multiple of these can happen. Deeds that you can accomplish on your chosen life path. This is my occupation. We can escape from the city. We can just flee. We're leading the revolt. We have to eliminate Sophia? Oh no! But maybe we'll see what happens. I know it's kind of even more things. Yeah, well, these are different things. These are occupation. Defender of the Empire. Can side with the Empire. Ugh, I don't really want to do that. And the Rebel. We can side with the Revolt. So we'll probably be the Rebel at least. And I guess, see, reading these ahead of time means now that I'm going to want to be leading the Revolt, because obviously that's where all the good outcomes were. For like the final outcomes. You know, but like now I need to take out Sophia. Sophia cannot be leading the revolt. And now the revolt screen is now available. Ooh, okay, and this tells us everything here. My side, not chosen. Oh, I want to side with the rebels. Ready to choose. Okay, okay. Continue. Let's go. Gonna take a drink. So it's four parts. Okay. Oh no. It's a consequence. Okay. The family's fate. The first rays of the morning sun reached the windows of your family home. It would be so easy to forget about the impending revolt here within these old familiar walls. It's not ideal, yeah. But the calm before the storm will soon be over, and yesterday's turmoil will return. I think, though, for this one, I think this is a consequence of my family not having fallen apart. I think. The condition was family fall apart and was crossed out. So because my family's still together, then this is happening. And not all the consequences are bad. So we'll see what happens. This could be something bad, though, but it could be something good. So we'll see. But the calm before the storm will soon be over, and yesterday's turmoil will return. There are only a handful of hours left. The Brants have to decide what to do. Should the family stay in the city and prepare to weather the storm? Should they join the struggle? Or should they simply avoid it? After a sleepless night, you gather in the sitting room as a family once again. Father is the first to speak. His determined yet surprisingly calm voice fills the room. This is what I was afraid would happen. The noble estate has turned a blind eye to the common people's misery, and now we have a revolt on our hands. It is my fault as well. I did all I could to serve the cause of justice, but it just wasn't enough, and now blood will be shed. The family patriarch casts a somber gaze over his children. I want to make one thing very clear. Today, our family cannot get involved in the unrest. We will not take sides. I will. You guys don't, though. You guys shouldn't. I will, though. Like, Nathan can, like, barely hang on to his own life. Like, he literally killed himself in the last chapter, or, like, last week, so I don't think we're good. I mean, he's and he turned it around. He's starting fresh. Things are better now. He got his mission from the twins or whatever when he was in the afterlife. Yeah, it could be a worse outcome. That is true. Well, I think it's gonna maybe give us a choice. And I don't know what, like, our stats are looking like for each choice, so we'll have to see. I feel for the common estate, but we're not getting dragged into a hopeless bloodbath. As for preserving the Overseer's rule in Anisote, we will not sacrifice ourselves for that either. He has led Magra to a rebellion, and now it's up to him and his legion to deal with the rebels. And we mustn't forget Commander Otton and his noble militia. They're all too eager to use this opportunity to slaughter the nobles they blame for the revolt. Father is silent for a while. Then he takes his sword off the wall and places it firmly on the table. His voice rings with the coldness of steel. We will stay in our city and protect our home. Whatever danger we might face today, the Brants will not surrender their home, their status, or their place in this world. None of you have ever seen Father so filled with resolve, but he still seeks your support. Robert, the patriarch of the Brant family, meets your gaze, because I'm the heir now that I kill my older brother. Ooh, well, well then, my son. I know you're going to make your own decision. Am I? Looks like I don't have a choice. You're too deeply involved in this conflict to just stand aside. But right now, I'm talking about our family here, sir. Our family must remain out of harm's way, no matter what you decide to do. Yes, I am going to make my own choices, but also, yes, let's consult about the family. The family will do something different. However, the family will not flee. Hold on, I'm going to take a drink here, though. Okay. The illusion of free choice, yeah. I mean, it's not really a very good illusion, since they're grayed out. It'd be different if, like, they were, like, not locked, and I clicked on it to see I didn't meet the terms, then that would be the illusion, but right now they're just, like, showing me all the things out of my reach. So we would need more family unity and a better relationship with her father for them to flee. I don't want them to flee, though. Like, I want this one. I want them to stay in the city and protect our home. I don't want them to oppose the revolt. My goodness, absolutely not. That is if we're not going to be a rebel. And, we would need our brother still here, which, our reputation needs to be above 5. Yeah, we have 0. If they oppose, they would all probably die. I mean, depends. It depends. Because, like, I'm not going to oppose the revolt. I'm going to side with them. And so if I play my cards right, my side wins. So I could oppose the revolt myself, and hopefully my family would be okay. But, like, I do not have a good position with the nobles. Like, clearly my reputation is not very high. My brother, who is a noble, like, by birth, I killed him. So, like, our family's not looking too great in that regard. So I have none of those requirements. So, like, I convicted Otton. Like, most of the nobles are not my fans. The Empire does not super like me. So, and then, okay, yeah, so this one I can't do because I don't have a high enough relationship with my father. So we could only side with the rebels if I killed Stephen, and if Gloria is still here, and our family unity only needs to be 5, but I only have a level 1 relationship with my dad. So, and see, the benefit to here is, so I would become a rebel, my family would be in the city, and then my father would become a rebel, and the common folk would trust me completely, and I have 3-level trust with them. But I don't. But look, now they're staying here. Look, and this gets me my family in the city, and I get more willpower. And I'm sure I can choose to be a rebel later on. But I guess I have to decide, don't I? Because I already... What, isn't that bad? What bad? There's nothing... None of these are necessarily bad. They're just setting the stage for bad things later. So that's why this is what, like, not metagaming, but, like, kind of playing in character. I wouldn't want my family to stay and protect our home. Just, like, hunker down, hold down the fort. Like, my father, he's not really, like, he's older. He's, like, the patriarch, but, like, besides me, he's the only other guy. So, like, he can take care of the house and take care of things. Oh, besides Nathan, but, like... Nathan, man. Nathan's not a noble, which he doesn't have to be, but, like, that's fine. I'm the heir. I'm a noble, so it makes sense for me to continue being the heir rather than passing on to Nathan, where it would take our family back down into commonness. And someone needs to, like I said, hold down the fort. Siding with the rebels, I don't want them to side with the revolt because, I'd prefer them to stay out of it, stay safe. And obviously we don't want to oppose the revolt. And I don't want them to flee the city. We're not going to run. Like cowards. Hey, Suioku, welcome. And even though this isn't one of the special options, it's the one I like anyway. And it gives us willpower, which means we have more willpower to use later if needed. So, okay. You agree with Father. The Brants need to take shelter at home and stay out of this struggle. It would be unwise for the family to take any side in the coming conflict. They should just focus on keeping each other safe. You, however, will have to act on your own. This is a historic day. You cannot stay out of it. Soon you will join the struggle for the city's future. You have to get ready and muster all your strength. Father lets out a bitter sigh and puts his hand on your shoulder. Very well, son. I always knew you had your own destiny. I hope you fulfill it today. What curse stone has the Brants found this time? The curse of politics. Determination. Oh man, imagine if Gregor were the curse echo. Oh my gosh, that would be miserable. Now I'm trying to think of everyone who's died in this game. Who has died? Gregor has died. Our mother has died. Steven has died. Is it just those three? Octavia turned into an alien. I think Octavia got possessed. Gregor would fit so well. Yeah, Gregor's like built for that's like what he was born for. To be a curse. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Sometimes you just like get possessed by an alien or whatever. You know, it's fine. It's totally normal and cool. But 3 people have died properly. And I think just 3. Happened to you on Monday, no big deal. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it happens. You know, when you do those ancient rituals and stuff, it's, you know, it's sometimes. As for the rest of us, we will stay home and stick together. Check all the locks, board all the windows, and reinforce the doors. You say your hurried farewells to your family and leave them to the preparations for the coming storm. If they should find themselves in danger, you promise to come home and help them at once. But in your heart of hearts, you are still uneasy. You finally walk out the door and head for the gate. This is where you belong now, on the streets, where history is about to be written. Oh wait, there was also the other guy, the Archnean what was his name? Am I able to find out? Is their occupation? Does anything? No, this doesn't tell me in my history. I'm trying to think. What was that guy's name? I was really good at the names last time. Anyway, the Archnean rebel that we had convicted, that we antagonized in court, so that he killed us, but then he could be also executed, right? He also died. But like he give it a try, it's out of this world, yeah. Well, in this world, really, technically. That's a difference for the alien, because they're in the world now, where they usually aren't. No, Otton's a different guy. He was the one that I was gunning for. There was the Archnean rebel. Otton was like establishment. The first one that I had convicted, so that I could prosecute Otton. Forget his name. It's like start with a J or something like that. Just logic your joke away. Well, you know, it was a good joke. It was a good joke. It just needed, like, workshopped. There's a lot of times where I, like, don't know what the joke is. I'm like, there's a joke here. Let me lay out all the pieces, and you can figure it out. It's gonna be a, like, DIY, some assembly required joke. It's there. And that's really all you need, though, is to, like, appreciate that, like, lay out the points, and then you don't need to, it doesn't need to be exact. I'm not even disappointed. I appreciate you laying out the parts of the joke. That's what matters. Because it's still funny that way. Anyway, that other guy, the Archnean noble, he's dead. And Otton obviously isn't. And he didn't even go into exile, which is rude, because I worked so hard I sacrificed a life along the way and everything. I did so much to make sure. I had 2 missions. I had a couple missions. One, I wanted, like, help Gloria out. I also wanted to make sure my best friend Thomas was safe, and I also wanted to convict Otton. Now that was my primary goal. It would probably start with an L. Well, yeah, well, they all start with L. L is like the noble title. We didn't see the name here this time. There's L Borne. He's my boss. We like him. But it still would have started with an L, but it wouldn't. Like I said, we didn't see it yet today. But not like the letter L. I think it started with the letter J, but it was like L J something. But because like L is just like the title of a noble, which is kind of weird. Maybe it's like a different type of noble, because like no one calls us L Brante. So I think you have to be a different type of noble, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, maybe a noble of the sword, I think, gets the L. Because that's the hereditary nobility that is, like, permanent, but we're only nobles of the mantle, I guess. I don't entirely understand. But the point is that other guy's dead. And then also dead, I think Mayor Egmont is dead. He's not a mayor, like, Mayor is his name. Egmont. He was a commoner, and he was like the newspaper, but he was like a commoner, but he was extremely wealthy. And he was going up against El Vermin, who also is dead now. And he's the one, Egmont is the guy, I think he got executed because we allowed him to use gunpowder in his mines. And he then passed it on to the rebels, and then he got executed for that, I believe. Yeah, his name is Mayor, just like my name is Sir. Sir is my first name, and also my title. So yeah, but it is my title, but Mayor is not his title. So, you know, I have two Sirs, he only has one Mayor. Okay. Continuing. This very dramatic moment. You finally walk out the door and head for the gate. This is where you belong now, on the streets, where history is about to be written. This is where you belong now, on the streets. This is, like, out of context, without the rest of the sentence is a little, like, not what they mean. Oh, wait, it's our brother, our younger brother, the one we didn't kill. Sir, hold on. You turn around and look behind you. The hunched, hapless silhouette of your younger brother appears on the steps. Nathan hurries toward you. Okay, we get +5 willpower. Wait. Was Nathan gonna tell me something or give me something? What? This part has just been done? What about Nathan? Is he coming with me or something? Wait, he's not capable of this. He's not capable. He really isn't. Gloria and Nathan need to stay home. Like, Robert is the only one who's allowed to leave the house. My orders as the heir. Okay, I'm gonna take a drink. Okay. My throat is already a little bit rough and I haven't even read anything. He just ran towards me and then just turned around and left. Okay. Oh, another consequence. Perfect. Okay. And it's the same condition. Family doesn't fall apart. Okay, so this is kind of like part 2 of the previous consequence. They're all connected. So it's really the same consequence, just with different... Okay, now we're getting Nathan's deal. He really looks really rough. I miss the little kid. Older Nathan is kind of creeping me out. Okay. Your younger brother stands before you, clutching an old prayer book. He speaks, sighs deeply, then begins to speak. Okay, I think speaks just should be deleted. He sighs deeply, then begins to speak. I know you're in a hurry, sir. I'll try not to take up too much of your time. As you know, my faith has wavered all my life. The twins know how much I've sinned, but even in my darkest hour, I knew they hadn't turned away from our world. I knew they still cared. Nathan is quiet for a moment, watching a tiny ant make its way across the porch. Yo, Nathan, come on. Focus. But I can't understand, no matter how hard I try. What's happening to us? This revolt against the Empire. How did the twins let it happen? Is this even possible? I mean, the twins made the whole world as part of their design, didn't they? Does that mean the entire world is about to fall apart? This revolt, what is it? Please help me understand. Nathan's sullen gaze rises toward the shining pillar, but thick gray storm clouds are already moving toward the city. The shining strip at the edge of the sky is growing dimmer by the second. You watch the sky too, lost in thought. What will you tell him? Okay. We do not have the locked things, which is fine. Yeah, see, this one we needed Revelation of the Tree and Nation. Yeah, okay. And this one we needed High Theology, which we do not have, which is intentional. Okay, see, this is this whole question is theological, so I don't really feel bad for not having a fancy answer to it, because we do not do the theology of this world. We do law and potentially the military, but we do not do theology. Okay. Revolt is a challenge against the gods. And that he'll be consumed by despair. Despair, ever since Danganronpa, like, gives you a flag, right? Tell him how about a shower to shave before we continue this convo? Yeah, exactly. He does look like a homeless man. Yeah, he's had a rough time of it. He was out drinking all the time and really just kind of squandering his life. He was like in college for a little, I guess, or some sort of school, but then he failed out. And he was like really, really struggling. Until, like I said, last week in like a chapter or two ago, or like a couple years back in the game, in chapter 4, during the peacetime, he killed himself because he wanted to go. Because in the afterlife, between like your lesser deaths, you go to the twins and you get like a divine like revelation essentially from the twins and like guidance about the universe and life. And he felt like he needed that because like obviously his life was really struggling. So we were like, all right, it's your life, do what you want to do, because was for the best for him. So that was like a really difficult choice. But he did get guidance from the twins and he felt much better. So things are starting to turn around. He's starting to get his act together now that he has a little bit more understanding of his life and some self-worth and a direction he wants to take his life in, theologically. But, oh man. Okay, so we can tell him it's a challenge against the gods. We can say the revolt is a threat to their design. I don't want to say either of those things. It gives me theology, this one gives me eloquence. But like, walk away without giving an answer. That's what I want to do. I'm not talking to him about. And besides both of these, he's gonna be consumed by despair, which like, I don't want. Oh man, he should ask the elder. Oh no, that one would have been so good, because then he could have become a prophet. Vision of Free Choice Part 2, yeah. Or, in this game, it's like more like part like 97 or something like that with all the choices we've made. This game has so many choices. That's why I like to describe it as like a like really like story rich, like choices matter game, but like for real choices matter game, not like one of the Telltale games where like, oh, blah blah blah, we'll remember this and like it has very little effect on the game. This one definitely like the game is gonna be so drastically different. Like thinking about all the choices I made, it could have turned out completely differently. Yeah, it has a lot of different outcomes. Yeah. And not just different outcomes necessarily, but like the story that you're traveling down, it would be completely different if I had done other things in the game. Like so different. Like I was a judge, for instance. I could have done a bunch of other things. Like it would have been so much different. Second time through and it's like 99% the same somehow. Yeah. I was kind of worried about that. I'm like, you know what? Maybe some of the things might still have happened, but like I don't think so. I don't think it could be the same. That would have to be different. You become a priest, but it's hard to become a judge after all. Yeah. Detroit Become Human, but with even more choices. Yeah, this one has like a lot of choices at least. They like have you choose a lot of things. There are a ton of different stats. Like let's review all the stats we have. Like what do we even have here? So we have our personality. So these are all of our personality traits stats wise. We have our family, or this is the House of Brante. This is our family. We have connections with all of them. Lydia, Gloria, Nathan. So like things are kind of rough there. These are all the other people who we also have like stats with all of them. And then we have the Empire, okay, this is the map. Then we have the province, and these are all stats. And then we have our career stats, and then we have, of course, now the rebellion stats. There's so many stats. Brant becomes Sir. Honestly, that's kind of it. That's actually a good title for the game. But there's so many stats, and like everything affects everything, and like even our personality stats used to be a different set of stats when we were a child, and like, oh yeah, so 17 and 19 are required for rare and especially difficult choices. I don't have any. I just have scheming as my only 17 to 19 stat. Criminal skill checks me between 10 and 16, which I have for most of them, except for theology, which was intentionally low, but yeah, there's like so many stats to this, and like again, even these were determined based on like our like toddler childhood stats, and then our like adolescent or like youth or whatever it was stats, and then those like got combined 3 and 3 into like 6 different categories. It was like crazy. So yeah. Okay. Also, we're only 28 years old, but I feel so old in this game. Like we have had a full career and a full life. Okay. So, yeah. Anyway, we're just gonna walk away because, one, these have bad results, and also, they improve skills that I don't really care about improving, and also, bad results for Nathan, and also, like, I don't agree to any of these. I don't mean to challenge the twins or anything like that. Challenge or a threat. That's not the point. I would say ask the elder, like, I don't want to talk to you about that. The rule is part of their design. Again, I don't want to give that information because I don't do theology. Lots of thinking involved. Yeah. And on the one hand, like, they throw you all these stats and stuff, but also, like, at the same time, like, I don't want to pay too much attention to the stats because I kind of want to, like, role play it and, like, you know, play as the character I'm kind of creating and crafting. But, like, in this case, it's one of the times where it's an easy choice because, like, both of these don't fit with the character, and like this does, and it's also, I think, the better option. So we're gonna walk away and not answer him because I don't want to have this conversation. A nearby gunshot startles you, brings you back to reality. You shake off your reverie and focus on the task at hand. There is no time to waste. You tell your brother that you have no time for theological debates. You have to go. Yeah, exactly. I do not care. Nathan's mouth begins to tremble, and his shoulders slump. You know what? Get it together, Nathan. He barely manages to stay calm and composed. You're right, sir. I'm sorry for bothering you. I just thought we might not get another chance. Well, off you go. This is the last time you might see me, and that is what you wanted to say. You know what? You're acting all hurt in this conversation. I'm the one who's hurt in this conversation, Nathan. Goodbye. Nathan's bewildered eyes follow you to the gate. He hangs his head, still clutching at his old prayer book, his hunched figure looking even smaller now. You leave him to his own devices, face to face with the sprawling, livid, mad, mysterious world around him. Get it together, Nathan. I can only help you out so much. Like, come on. Mustering the forces. I'm gonna take a drink, though. Okay. The crimson sun slowly rises above the horizon. Nathan really wanted a theological debate, yeah. Well, he didn't. He didn't want to debate, is the thing. He's, like, been a lost puppy the whole game. I've had to, like, Big Brother him the way through, not like the 1984 Big Brother, like actual like older brother him the whole game. And like, I mean, I am his older brother, but at some point he needs to grow up. When I left home, that's his turn to like step up. My older brother was Steven, okay? Like, I did not get guidance from my older brother. I mean, maybe a little bit. On occasion he was cool, but for the most part he was not. So like, Nathan needs to like be grateful for the guidance I gave him and be happy with that. I gave him plenty. Stop asking. Okay. You make your way through a city in chaos, carefully observing what is happening on the streets. The rebellion is flaring up again after a night of calm. Once again, the commoners are taking to the squares in droves. The grim resolve in the rebels' eyes speaks volumes. They are determined to seize their freedom or die trying. There are others, however, who are huddling inside their homes, locking their doors and praying to survive the revolt unscathed. Oh, like, that's my family. With every passing minute, you see more and more people carrying banners. They bear a hand clutching a lantern, the mark of the last straw. The conspirators have left the shadows at last. They hand out guns to the common folk, using these last precious minutes to quickly teach them how to fire them. Not the best writing, that's fine. The artisans are out on the streets too, cobbling together makeshift shields out of wood and nails to protect against the nobles and their blades. Fortunately for the rebels, the nobles remain divided. The old noble bloodlines have sided with Dorius Otton. The Archnean has sworn to bring down the revolt by any means necessary. His noble militia now stands guard in the Silver District, where the city's most eminent aristocrats have their homes. They represent the greatest threat to the revolt. Civil War training is sufficient, yeah. Man, I really want Otton to die. Like, I thought I was done. I thought my life's mission was accomplished, but it is not. This man needs to be stopped. That's why I can't die now. Like, I went into this thinking I could, but I can't. Not until Otton is dead. That's my goal. Or, like, actually exiled. But he's not gonna be exiled. He's not gonna listen. So he needs to die. I don't care about the success of the revolt, to be honest. I really just want him dead. Many nobles of the mantle, however, are all too eager to violate their oath of fealty and side with the rebels. Though a noble to serve the Empire, they no longer want to suffer under the boot of the high-born Archneans and human gentry. But there are many more who are still undecided, soldiers and low-ranking officers of the Legion from the city's garrison officials and functionaries. They have all found themselves caught between the Overseer's orders and the people's revolt. Many of them are biding their time, hoping the Legion or the Prefecture will spring into action and quell the unrest, but the Prefecture has yet to react. The city prefect, Sir Borne, still has not made it clear which side he is on. Oh, Lord, we know we're on the side of the rebels, we know it! Even the clergy has been swept up in the strife. Abbot Leonard is gathering new believers for a procession to the Silver Tree, where the people will elect a new patriarch. Old believer priests and common folk who prefer to cling to the lots and save their souls stand in opposition. Even the Inquisition, I don't care about the new faith, old faith stuff. I don't care about religion and theology in this game. It does not interest me. Even the Inquisition, whose duty it is to protect the Church of the Twin Gods against heresy, has been tainted by this schism. Because, like, if legally... Oh, okay. That's fine. Okay. We'll look at those in a second. What was I gonna say? Something about... something. Anyway, I forget. I just was given a lot of choices. I mean, I don't have choices, but a lot of options that I can't take. A true fight for the fate. This is what you feel like when people tell you have so much potential. I mean, yeah. Yep, I get it. Good call. Okay, well, look at that. Hold on, I need to read this. The true fight for the fate of Aniso will begin in a matter of hours. You have had 8 years to curry influence among the people of the city. It is time to put your connections to the test. Oof. Who can you sway to your side? Who will be willing to sacrifice their lives and fight for your cause? Okay, can I incite a riot among the Legion troops because I was talking to them all the time, gathering evidence against Otton? Is that it? And because, like, Thomas was, like, kind of like my inside? Is that it? Assemble a squad of loyal rebels. Oh, that would have been cool. arm the new believers at that. I don't want to do the religious stuff. Support the old believer. Ooh, no. Unite the nobles. Ugh, no. Buy the people's loyalty. I don't really want that either. Connections aren't too strong. I mean, the thing is, it's just different connections. Like, we have the new faith. This one is kind of like whatever. We'll look at that in a second. I don't really understand what that one's. This is the old faith. This is the nobles. This is being wealthy. This one would be, I would already need to be a rebel for this one. I would need to have been the path of the lotless. So I would have not gone into being a judge. And I would have joined the rebels and Sophia at the riot at the college in the bigger city. But and that's why I guess assume a squad of loyal rebels. Feels like I already would have been among the rebels. I'm not. I do have connections with the rebels though. Like I'm on good terms with Sophia. And I helped that other dude who was lying about being a noble or a noble, no, to teach at the university or something like that. You needed to have hereditary nobility. And this guy was a noble, but he was not born a noble, and he hid it through forged documents. And the Inquisition was going to like suss him out, and I helped Sophia get him out of the city. So he also I should have good connections with. I don't even think he's someone I have. Wait, let's look here and see, who do we even have on our list? Okay, so these are the people who are people. Okay, so in this one be if I was wealthy. Oh, and I would also need Path of the Lotless. Okay. Because I actually do have enough money to buy the people's loyalty. And this is if I'm not a rebel. Oh, I wouldn't actually be a rebel. Interesting, interesting. But I am. I'm going to side with the rebels. So this is not what I want. I definitely don't want this one. I don't want to support either of the faiths. And so this is the one I want anyway, which makes sense. Oh, thank goodness I have enough valor for this. Bide your time. Oh, well, that gives me, I max out at 30 willpower anyway, so that doesn't even really give me anything good. And I don't really, I have mixed opinions about biding my time. I bided my time before, and it turned out fine, but I don't know. Path of the Nobleman, which I did. Thomas's new life, right? Because Thomas is all settled off somewhere else. I knew Thomas would be my in. I'm friend married to that guy. And we have enough valor because that's our second strongest stat. Okay, in this I become more of a rebel, or maybe become a rebel, whatever, because it says go up, so maybe you have to have a certain number of rebelness, I guess. And the revolt goes up, which means I think it's siding more towards, I think it's like starting at 6 is when the commoners are winning. But this will get us closer. And then more troops, which I also, I think I'm fine with the number of troops if I have peace, but if we win in combat, which would be nice, having more troops is not bad. Because to have the peaceful option, make peace with Gaius Tempest, we only needed at least 1 troops. But if we have 2, yeah, it's not gonna hurt anything. I'm gonna do the joke about the illusion of free choice, but you don't actually have the choice not to. Whoa. Okay. Okay, we're gonna say right among the Legion troops, because like I said, I've helped Thomas, and I've also been among the troops. And they're not mentioning this on the side there, but knowing, you know, getting into the character, I have been hanging out with the troops a lot. They haven't always been happy about it, but I have been hanging out with the troops, gathering evidence against Otton. So I did spend a lot of time with them. So we're gonna incite a riot. And plus, I was always playing with my little toy soldiers. This is just like my toy soldiers. We're gonna incite a riot among the troops. Look, I'm not saying I'm gonna use the troops. just having them, you know? You're employing people, really. You head for the armory. The main forces of the Legion are still several hours' march from the city. The soldiers stationed there must be wavering. They may yet join the revolt. Soon you reach the ancient barracks built of ruddy stone. Look, you guys know that Otton treated you horribly. Remember he was dueling all of you? Like, he was doing things that, like, you know, horrible things, mass murdering villages and stuff like that, which was not what he was supposed to be doing, because, like, he was on the side of what's-his-face, Melanidas, Octavia's dad, and, you know, instead of Gaius Tempest, even though Gaius Tempest was actually in charge, and, you know, and he was just angry about it, so he was, like, going around having the troops murder willy-nilly all these sorts of people, and if you were like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that, Otton, maybe you shouldn't bully these people and murder people for the heck of it, you know, someone who is out of office, look, he is not in office right now, stop murdering for him, and then if you said that to him, then he would duel you and kill you, and that was illegal too. So you guys have to remember how he treated you guys. You can't side with Otton again. This is your chance to rebel. Come on. The Legion soldiers standing guard around it are exhausted and anxious after a sleepless night. They will not trust an unfamiliar face. However, some of them recognize you. It's Judge Brante. Let him in. Yeah, bullying is just not nice. But Otton is a big bully. The air around the barracks is thick with alarm and unease. The officers are forming squads to head out and break up the crowds, but the soldiers are already on the verge of full-blown mutiny. The only thing keeping them in check is an age-old fear of their betters. The military, man, really getting that like, rank in your head. But you know what? You guys are better than your military rank. Don't let that hold you back in life. The only thing that can hold you back is the requirements to make the choices on the right-hand page. You waste no time. In the middle of the square, in front of the armory, is a platform. You leap onto it and address the soldiers of the Empire. Warriors of the Legion, Sir Brante, the defender of the common people against the Archnean elite, has something to tell you. Do you know what happened to Thomas Guerra, the Legion captain who was rescued from Commander Otton's clutches? I saved him. He married, and he's having a nice little family. You have their attention now. Many of them are aware of Thomas and his plight. You continue your impassioned speech, their eyes trained on you. Captain Guerra was a soldier just like you. Have you all earned a military rank and the right to serve just to grovel in the dirt before the Archneans? You are nobles of the mantle, but the Imperial authorities will continue to treat you like dishonorable rabble until you force them to reckon with you. Today is the day when the soldiers must join the people and cast off the chains of Archnean tyranny. A furious shout cuts your tirade short. The garrison commander has had enough. The enraged old nobleman jabs a gnarled finger at you. That's his finger. Legion captain says, "Traitor! You dare call yourself a nobleman? Seize him now! You are servants of the Empire! Or Emperor!" The soldiers do not budge. They watch you intently, waiting for your response. "That's an order! Are you deaf or just stupid?" Stop being mean. You cast an arm forward and bellow, "Down with tyrants! Kill him!" Ooh. A legionnaire's sword pierces the old nobleman's chest. He collapses to the ground with a heavy thud like a sack of old clothes. Slowly, his body dissolves into shimmering ash. The old officer still had lives to spare, but by the time he returns to the living, history will have been written without him. The invisible fetters of terror that once bound the legionnaires have been shattered. They make quick work of the remaining officers. After the mutiny, many soldiers throw away their uniforms and flee, but the rest of them line up in front of you. The legionnaires bang their swords against their shields. You command them now. You have only one goal, to put an end to the old regime. Do you have what it takes to realize their hopes and guide them to victory? It is time to find out. The sound of gunfire fills the city streets once again. The lull has passed. Okay, so now we have 2 troops. You have a regiment. That's what I was aiming for. I don't really want an army, but I'd like a regiment. We're still stalemate, but we're really close to the commoners winning. A sack of old clothes, it sounds relatively... No, like a big sack of old clothes. That's kind of heavy when you, like, fill up a big bag with clothes. You know, like a big, huge laundry bag, you know? Okay, I'm gonna take a drink. Okay. So things are looking good. Things are good so far. I just want On to die. Okay. Oh yes, and now we are siding with the rebels. And I got an achievement that said that. Okay. Hooray. Okay. I don't really necessarily want to be a rebel. I just want Otton destroyed. I don't care about the larger commoner versus Archnean. I vaguely do, but I really am just focusing on Otton. It's personal. He went after my best friend. Okay. Oh, wow. So they're continuing to show me how my stats are. Okay. Okay, thanks for updating me. See, at first I was, I don't like looking at these so much. Kind of, but they're really being a little bit more forceful about showing you what you need to accomplish certain ends. So I don't feel too bad. Otton has a bounty on his head. Yeah, well, yes. Yeah, I don't care how he dies. I just want him gone. It's personal. I mean, I did see my friend. As I said, Thomas is off in another town, living a nice life. But, oh no, a consequence again. My goodness. A fading light. The sun rises higher and higher. Your carriage is hurtling down the street, making its way through the crowd with great difficulty. Many barricades have appeared overnight, made of old boards and rotten trash. You have to reach the prefecture as soon as you can. The gendarmes and judges' reaction to the revolt may be decided at any moment. Any word from Sir Borne, no, even the slightest sign from him, could determine their allegiance. The Silver District is empty now, populated only by a searing wind sweeping light debris across the cobblestones. You smell smoke. A noble house must have been set on fire nearby. You hear hoofs clattering in the distance. There is not a soul around. All you can hear is a fountain burbling in a small square, mixed with gentle, melodic laughter. Judges ruled that his punishment for what he did was death. Oh, I mean, I guess so. You yell for the carriage to stop. Technically, he's only supposed to be exiled. I thought, yeah, because remember I originally saw her in, near a fountain garden area. And, melodic laughter. I was like, that's probably my alien girlfriend. There she is. Those graceful movements, that clothing so light and airy, that thin, slender figure playing and splashing in the water, the rays of the sun dance and glitter on its golden skin. That hot, carefree day flashes before your eyes, the sound of the carriage on the cobblestones, the handkerchief dropped on the ground. That's what I thought. It was reminding me of that day we first met. Does Octavia still remember how you first met? What don't I understand about how she's gone and she's now possessed by an alien? An ancient alien, no less. One of the Latari. This creature, does it still have anything in common with the prideful Archnean lady you met here all those years ago? The creature that was once Octavia is laughing, as though she cannot see the ruined streets around her. You come closer. You feel a strange, involuntary sense of calm next to this bizarre creature. There can be no hatred in her presence, no pain, no suffering. She raises her large, pitch-black eyes to you. Her voice rings with genuine elation. Do you not see it all crumbling now? It's the old world dying, collapsing under its own weight. Do not fear it, it's not a bad thing. This is how it has to be. You live in the dream of the one called Octavia Melanidas, human who bears the name of Brant. This dream will end soon, and then it will all be gone. Your empire, your estates, your lots, your shining pillar. Our alien girlfriend, yep. I don't know if she's good looking. The eyes really freak me out, to be honest. But we're not going to tell her that. We told her that we still love her no matter what. Even if she isn't her anymore and she's an alien now, for some reason, we're still going to love her anyway, even if she's a different person. And you, human named Brant, will be gone too, and the great mind of the Latari will leave this dream and move on, beyond all borders, beyond all limits. What great joy that moment will bring us. The creature that was once Octavia stretches her thin arms toward the horizon, where smoke already wafts against— okay, I have a lot of great choices here. Where smoke already wafts against the backdrop of the sky. The screams of the rioting crowd are drawing closer. This being is not of this world, and it is utterly helpless. Especially here in Anizote, in the middle of a rebellion. The fate of the woman you knew as Octavia Melanidas is in your hands now. Yeah, we still love her. Yes. Yeah, we love her so much. We'd even love her if she's not her. If she's someone else entirely. Okay. Oh man, I wish I could share a final moment. Oh, we need high theology, or we need to have done the Latari ritual. Oh, but like, yeah, we do have a spiritual bond with her, I guess. But, you know, I'm kind of fine letting this one go, to be honest. Well, we can get her out of the city if we have over 0 with Otton. Yeah, hell yeah, we're -5 with Otton. Oh, and wait, this brings Octavia back? We bring Octavia back, and then Otton likes us more? Oh my goodness, yeah, getting her out of the city sounds nice, but the actual results of this are, oh, the only one who can rescue her is Otton. Yeah, we're not doing that. I don't care. It's not worth it. Otton's our #1 enemy. More than Octavia. Octavia, it was always like kind of like a friends with benefits thing. Like, we weren't really, like, it was kind of weird because she was like, oh, I like you because you're a little toy for me to play around with. And we were like, look, you need to see us as your equal, even though I'm a human and you're a blue Arcnean lady. You need to treat us as your equal. And she was like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. But it wasn't the best relationship. So, like, we were never that serious about her, really. I mean, like, you know, she meant a lot to us and we were close and stuff like that. But, like, you know, it wasn't, like, serious. It wasn't our goal in life. I love you so much. I could just hand you over to the Inquisition, yeah. Imagine getting cheated on and then you're just like, but I love you so much. Yeah, it's like, honestly, this is kind of weird. Like, what doesn't, somehow it's like my character, based on like the decisions even before, my character doesn't get that she's not Octavia anymore. Like, but again, we were never really that close with her. Like, personally, like, we could never use her to pull strings. Like, we didn't have, like, there was a lot we could do if we had the patronage of, like, someone powerful, and she is pretty powerful, but we did not have her patronage. She would never back us in anything. And, like, you know, it's just kind of like, and our whole relationship was secret. I mean, her dad said he kind of knew about it, but otherwise our relationship was secret. Like, it wasn't a good relationship. And, like, I felt like Brant, you know, like, Sir Brante here, he knew that it wasn't a good relationship, you know? Like, he knew that it was just fun. It was just gonna be just fun while it lasts. It's not that serious. So, legally, she's Octavia. What else matters? I mean, is she, though? Is she? Like, I don't even know, because in a world where you have, like, lesser deaths and, like, your spirit goes and comes back and stuff, like, we can accept the fact that her spirit has moved somewhere else, you know? Like, and it's not like the Latari are, like, completely mythical. Like, they're a historic race. So, you know, I'm a judge, so I'm gonna say that legally she's not Octavia. But yeah, so anyway, getting her out of the city is not what we want to do, and that would bring her, but like, this is all sorts of bad, actually. I would share a final moment with her. Again, it's not Octavia, and also, I didn't care about her all that much. And we could hand her over to the Inquisition, which we would not want to do. We like the Inquisition, like, one of the least of all. Maybe not least. Obviously, Otton we hate more. But, like, you know, the Inquisition definitely we don't like. So we're just gonna part ways with her, which seems fine. She escaped the world. You know what? That's what she wants to do. The destiny of this transcendent creature is none of your concern now. Yeah, that's fine. Honestly, I'm ready to go. She isn't. I mean, look, like, she literally doesn't even look like herself. Where is the picture? Well, I mean, I guess we'll just look there, because it's not gonna let me change this. But look. Her body isn't even the same. Okay. I'm fine parting ways with her. I mean, it would have been nice to be the relationship was, like, left a trace, but again, like, it's not really her. So this is where we're just gonna part ways. Goodbye. I mean, the whole thing was just for the time being anyway. You know, it was only, and we agreed upon that. Like, and again, the whole relationship, it was like, we met up whenever Octavia wanted to meet up. Not when I want to meet up. It was whenever she wanted to. Whenever it was convenient for her. And for us to meet up and have a little romantic night together. But, like, you know, and now she's gone, really. So, like, it's just not convenient. Like, that's fine. There were times where we were like, oh, well, I won't see her for months because she's busy with her, like, bringing back ancient races or whatever little curiosities. A slightly distorted body. I mean, it's clearly different than what it was before. Like, she looked different. Where's the picture? Do we have the picture? No, now it's a different picture. Ugh. Anyway, it's fine. She looked different. She was different before. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's just not her. And even then, our relationship, if at any point she was like as old Octavia and she was gonna be like, look, this ends here, like, that would have been expected. It was always whenever it's convenient for Octavia. Like, it was never serious. Her large pitch black eyes are watching you, but you remain silent. Whatever connection you had to Octavia Melanidas, it is gone now. The fate of this bizarre creature is none of your concern. She can follow her inscrutable path on her own. The creature that was once Octavia hangs her head in sorrow. The saddest thing about the death of this world human named Sir Brante is that you are so tightly bound to it, you will burn along with it. We will mourn you as you fade away. Goodbye forever. The thin, slender, ethereal figure hops from the edge of the fountain and onto the cobblestones. She turns her back to you and walks away down an empty street. The eerie calm she emanated remains with you for a while, but soon dissipates. Only the acrid smell of smoke remains. You shake your head and wrench yourself back to reality. Borne, the prefecture. You need to hurry. You know what? That's fine. She escaped the world. Good for her. That's what she always wanted to do. Okay. Alright, now another consequence. Alright, I'm gonna take a drink. Alright. Borne, you're gonna side with the commoners, right? Right? It is noon. A large crowd has gathered in the prefecture. Back to space for her. Yeah. A large crowd has gathered in the prefecture square. The gendarmes form a line in front of the stairs, clutching their cudgels nervously. The commoners keep coming. The mob keeps growing. They call out to the windows. Of the prefecture. Their screams are deafening. Borne sides with the people. Gendarmes, judges, join us. The people need you. It's now or never. The rebelling citizens demand that the prefect take a side. This decision must not be made without you. You have to get inside. You push your way through the dense crowd until you reach the gendarmes. Oh, Sir Brante, I thought you'd been captured. Men, let the judge through. Tell the judges to make up their minds. The people haven't attacked us yet, but you never know. The main hall of the prefecture is stuffy and crowded. The din of voices is as loud here as outside. Every judge in the province is here now, save for those who stayed home or fled the city in advance. So everyone's here except for those who aren't. Most of them demand that the prefect disperse the crowd. Augustin Borne is on the podium in the courtroom, looming above the indignant judges. You're going to make the right decision, right? No, I will not sick the gendarmes on the people. It is the prefecture's duty to listen to the emperor's subjects, not force them to be silent. If we disperse this crowd, it will only fan the flames. And what of the overseer's orders, Sir Prefect? We have to quash the revolt while we still can. Tell the gendarmes to do their duty and protect the city from these riots. Or do you want this so-called People's Court to hang us all? Have you forgotten about the last straw and that freak, Sophia? They're executing people left and right, and though they're wielding the divine law, do you really think you'll be spared? She said I need space and she meant it, yeah. The judges applaud Fake Graben, even those who believed you to be the prefect's most ardent supporters. This unrest needs to be quelled with words, not clubs. If we turn this demonstration into a bloodbath, there will be no stopping the carnage. Borne tries to respond. Okay. We'll look at those in a second. Borne tries to respond, but cries of outrage drown out his words. The prefect frowns in consternation. The wrinkles on his forehead grow deeper. He casts another glance around the courtroom and notices you standing in the doorway. Okay. I have 4 with him, that's good. And I have a little bit of trust with the nobles, which is good. My reputation is trash, but that's not what I need. Okay, the revolt goes down, and my trust with the nobles goes down, which I don't like. But my trust with the common folk goes up. This one, the revolt goes up, and my willpower goes up. Okay, what is this one? People will listen to him. Suppress the revolt? No, we don't want to do that. Convince Borne to side with the rebellion. Oh man, that would have been nice. I need over 18 valor. Man, okay. I was close on that one. Oh man, I would have really liked him to be a rebel. Await his decision. What is his decision? Support his plan. Which gives me more trust with the commoners and less with the nobles. Man, I wish I had just a little bit more valor. That's a really high valor score. Tough choice, yeah. This one would have been so sweet though. This is what I need. I need something. I mean, the only downside to this one is that I lose 1 point with the nobles, but like, you know. I don't want to lose my nobles point. But I feel like I need more support with the common folk. And I want to be supportive. He's my boss, and like I've been supporting him so far. So far, he's been on the right track with things. Like he's been a good boss, a good mentor, even. So like I'm gonna side with him, whatever he decides. I mean, obviously I'm gonna side with the rebels, but I'll like support when it comes to my career and my position as a judge. When I'm like in the prefecture, I'll like follow his lead at least for the time being. Depending on what he decides, but he seems to be doing the right thing, so I'll follow him a little farther. Followed him so far. You start elbowing through the agitated crowd of judges and make your way up to the podium. You stand to Elborne's right. He acknowledges you with a friendly nod. Let Judge Brante speak. You address the judges. Sir Prefect is right. We need to talk to the people. We need to convince them. Every commoner knows the name Borne. They respect the prefect. They will listen to him. This is the only way to prevent more riots. The judges respond uneasily. Have you lost your mind, Brante? The revolt is already happening here. It can't be stopped. Wasting more time trying to convince the people is the same as helping the rebels. Enough, Sir Graben. I am still the prefect. You will negotiate with the crowd outside. This is my final decision. The prefect has managed to regain his composure and confidence thanks to your support. Yeah, I'm here to back you, buddy. Be confident. How's the word his decision aligns with mine? I mean, yeah, but also like sometimes he's like a little bit off. Like he does side with the nobles a little bit more than I do, but that's because he plays the long game. But he does so even more than I do. So, but like I understand. I'll, as long as he's not too far off. Like I don't like everything about this decision, but I do trust Borne, so I'll take his guidance on this. In character, like he's been a really good mentor to Sir Brante, so the prefect has managed to regain. There are still disgruntled voices in the courtroom, but no one will dare to question his actions directly now. Yep, gotta believe. Only Graben is still fuming. He stares daggers at you. Yeah, well, I hate him anyway. Well done, Brante. You've finally shown yourself for the mangy cur you are. You may have convinced the prefect, but no true nobleman will ever side with you. Okay. You, Borne, and the gendarmes leave the courtroom and step out onto the stairs of the prefecture. The mob clamors loudly upon your arrival. People of Anisot, you all know that I have fought for justice for the common people of the prefect of Magra, as the prefect of Magra, and right now I'm asking you all to trust me. Do not take up arms. Do not listen to those last straw thugs. Do not riot or commit senseless acts of violence. Keep order in our city. Allow me to negotiate with Overseer Tempest. The mob buzzes again, this time in outrage. Whose side are you on, Borne? The people's or the Overseers? Are you telling us to bow down and wait for the Legion to come slaughter us? The prefect urges them to remain calm. You've already started this revolt, and show the Overseer that times have changed. The common estate is a powerful force to be reckoned with, a force to be negotiated with. But blood and death will change nothing, if it will only bring the Legion down upon you and your families. The crowd is split. Some continue to demand that the prefect take their side. Others, however, begin to shout in his favor, insisting that the revolt can be resolved peacefully without bloodshed. The rebellious horde's former unity is no more. Borne is about to give you a chance to speak when you suddenly hear hooves clacking toward the square, coming from the Silver District. The people at the edges of the mob begin screaming in terror. Confusion and fear ripple through the crowded square. The riders are coming. It's Otton and his noble militia. Oh no. Okay, well, I'm the leader of the common folk. Take that, Sophia. We're still at a stalemate, and now the nobles don't like me. But you know what? That's fine. I'll win them over, sort of. We're already halfway through. Oh my goodness. The prefecture under siege. The searing sun looms high in the sky above the rebellious city. The square in front of the prefecture is packed with commoners. Just a moment ago, they boldly demanded that the judges and gendarmes side with the rebellion, but now they are terrified. They fear the noble army that is coming for them. Their calls for rebellion are gone, replaced by frightened screams. Looking decent so far. Hoofs thunder under the cobblestones. The earth quakes beneath their feet. The noble militia led by Dorius Otton carves a path through the human sea. A terrified rebels scatter as the riders approach. The gendarmes remain where they are, forming a tight circle around the prefecture and Borne. The prefect calls out to the crowd, his voice hoarse. Everyone stay calm. Let them through. Do not draw your weapons. Otton's riders push the mob aside and eventually reach the tall building. The Arcane commander draws in his reins only when the gendarmes all that separate him from the prefecture stairs. Prefect Borne, how dare you disobey the orders of the province's rightful rulers? You have abused your position to appease the rebels and defy imperial rule. This inconceivable rebellion is your fault. It's time for you to accept your well-earned punishment. It is in the name of Archduke Melanidas, I hereby order you and your gendarmes to surrender your weapons. The supreme judge of the prefecture maintains his composure in the face of this recrimination. I only obey the laws of the Empire, Sir Otton, not you or your runaway Archduke. Otton's face contorts in a predatory grin. Excellent. You've had your chance to save face, old man. Instead of a dignified execution, you and your cronies will hang, like the foul rabble you've betrayed us for. Otton lifts his sword skyward. A lot of choices that are not ones I can make. Otton lifts his sword skyward, prepared to order an assault. The riders behind him are about to attack. The gendarmes ready their clubs. Their hands are trembling. They will not stand a chance against the noble cavalry. The mob begins to shift about to flee the square. The fate of this moment hangs by a thread. Okay. Oh, good thing. Okay. Get them to reconcile. Oh, that would be awful. Okay, wow, that would be, oh my gosh, I would need 20 diplomacy for that? Oh my goodness. That's really high diplomacy. Okay, this one, I can't be a rebel for this one, but I am, so, like, oh, obviously I wouldn't overthrow Borne, never mind. This is a tough choice again, yeah. Well, I mean, not really. I think I'm gonna go with this one, but we gotta take a look at it, though. A duel. Oh my gosh, I would not want to be a duel. No, I can't be a rebel for this one either. But like, wow. If I were challenged to a duel, that'd be really bad. I would die. I'm not very since I went into law, I'm not very good at swordplay. Okay, then this one. Get on its army to abandon him. This one would be nice, but we just do not have the diplomacy, and we just, like, used up our noble's point, but just cheat again. That'd be nice. I don't know if I can, though. I don't know if that would work. Okay, and then this one. Okay. I have more than 2 of the common folk, and I have more than 0 willpower, and Borne is not a defender of the Empire, so he's not, like, on their side, at least. Okay, and this gets the revolt up 2 and troops up 1. Wow, we'll have a lot of military power. Orders down 1, power up 1. Right now it's already at -1, so that moves it. What is the power? It doesn't matter. It puts it like struggle for power, but it goes in the commoner's direction, which I guess is good. I guess. And order, we're at discontent. This is, what was it? -1 order. We're at 4. And then we go down to 3, unrest. I would say there's some unrest. I'm fine with that. If I stay out of it, Borne dies. And the order goes down anyway. And power goes towards the nobles. And I get 5 willpower. I have plenty of willpower. Because you can even go to -10 willpower. And I have 25. I have like 35 willpower to use on something. So, you know. This one I lose 5, but again, that'll still give me 30, which is plenty. Yeah, this one seems good. And now Borne will be a rebel. I wanted him to be a rebel, and I was like, I'll be satisfied if he's not, but now he will be. So yeah, we're gonna rouse the mob and encourage them to defend the prefect. That's why we won the mob over to our side. They respect us. So yeah, that one's good. We'll do that one. Otton's riders advance on the gendarmes. And again, playing it in character, it makes way more sense for me to rouse the mob up. Like, I was about to address them anyway, like, and obviously I'm like want to defend Borne, like, so, you know, and like I'm not gonna challenge him to a duel. The only other thing that I would do in character, I would not probably stay out of it. The only other thing in character I would do is get his troops to rebel against him and turn on him. But that wasn't an option. But getting the mob to defend Borne, that like is still pretty in character. So like I'm fine with that choice. Also, it's the best choice, but also it does fit character as well. If you do nothing, the prefecture will fall. You need to act now. You leap into the mob, scramble up onto an overturned carriage, and call out to the throng. See, I had done this before. I had spoken to mobs and gotten them to do what I wanted. Like, I think at least once, maybe twice before, in the game. You hear voices throughout the crowd. It's Brant! Sir Brant wants to say something! You shout as loudly as you can. People of Aniso, do not fear the wrath of the nobles. Your lives are finally yours for the first time since the Empire was founded. Cast off the lot of humility. You are many and they are few. It is time to fight. Yeah. For years and years, the prefecture has always been there to protect the rights and freedoms of the common man. You cannot let it fall into enemy hands. Stop them. Protect the prefect. Borne hears you over the din of the struggle on the prefecture stairs. His voice joins yours. Show them you have no fear. Take your rights by force. I, Prefect Borne, am on your side. Your words inspire the people with a sense of solidarity. They have much to lose now, and they will not surrender their freedom without a fight. In the blink of an eye, the unwieldy throng bristles with heavy sticks, wooden clubs, and makeshift spears. You start giving orders from your impromptu podium, commanding this newfound army to assault the rear of Otton's cavalry. Cut the rabble down, no mercy. The cavalry turns to face them with an onslaught of sharp steel. Bones crack beneath hooves, swords slice through defenseless flesh. The stench of blood fills the square as fallen bodies dissipate into glimmering dust. You keep doling out furious commands, trying to ensure that the common folk are not routed. Hold the line, stand your ground, better a lesser death than eternal slavery. This is like me playing with my little toy soldiers when I was little. See, I'm a judge, but I still get to do some military commanding. This is why I have at least 16 valor. Might not have 18, but still pretty good. The riders smash into them again, but the line holds. The people have numerical superiority, and their spears and clubs strike back. The cavalry begins to drown in the sea of humanity. The gendarmes hit Otton's warriors from the rear. One by one, the riders are dragged from their horses. The noble militia falters. Traitors, filth! Retreat! Otton and his surviving horsemen turn tail and flee, furiously carving a path with their swords. At least half of Otton's men have fallen in this battle. Cries of victory fill the square. The commoners shake their weapons, eager to follow your orders. Yeah, it's a pretty nice outcome. But it is far too early to celebrate. You have only fought off one assault. Prefect Borne finds you in the boisterous crowd. Sir, your courage has saved the prefecture. I'm with you until the end. Whatever you need from me, you will have it. We need to hurry now. The noble militia we've seen in the city pales in comparison to the forces of the Legion. I'll gather our forces at the prefecture and establish a unified command structure. You should find Abbot Leonard and aid him in any way you can. His procession must be en route to the Silver Tree by now. The enemies in the New Faith are waiting there, weapons at hand. They'll massacre each other if we don't stop them, Brant. This city is a power keg with a short fuse. One or more fire and blood is the last thing we need. What we need is more allies, and having Leonard on our side is crucial. We need a spiritual leader who can unite the city against the Legion. You know what, buddy? I don't know that I can do anything spiritual-wise, but I'll give it my best shot. You nodded at Borne. The fate of the feud between the two faiths will be decided in the clash at the Silver Tree. You have to be there. You wish your prefect luck, then muster your loyal forces and head for the tree. Okay. That was pretty good. Things are going pretty good. Okay. The rebels are winning. We have an army. I didn't try, but and we still have like 30 to use because you can go to -10 for willpower, so. The March of the New Faith. An enormous sea of humanity flows through Anisote, filling the streets of the Temple District. They are led by Abbot Leonard. The new believers walk peacefully behind him, many of them women and the elderly. They are unarmed. Their faces show neither fear nor anger. They are so drastically unlike the throngs of rebels who are currently ransacking streets and looting noble houses. The procession slowly makes its way toward the temple at the Silver Tree. The temple has always been where patriarchs of the church accept their sacred duty, along with the heavy burden of responsibility for their flock before the twin gods. When a patriarch speaks, the twins pay heed, and every 8 years it falls upon the patriarch to proclaim in their sight how their world is humbly following the lot it has been given. Long after the twins descended to our world, the patriarchs came to be elected at the conclave by the clergy. The tradition has continued for many years. Today, dozens of priests have come to the temple in spite of the unrest to conduct their rite and spare the twins' world from their wrath. But now, thousands of commoners are walking to the same temple to elect the new patriarch themselves. You and your followers take a side street to the temple, avoiding the immense procession. Soon the square by the tree is packed, teeming overwhelmed. But the stairs to the temple doors cannot be reached. A stalwart phalanx of champions of faith blocks the way, with Jean in the lead. They are joined by the Inquisitors, those who have decided to walk the path of the old faith until the very end. I will not allow you into the temple, Leonard. These heretics will not make you patriarch. Father Leonard slowly begins to ascend the stairs. He does not argue with Jean. The abbot simply faces her with a humble smile and gestures at the people standing behind him. Doubt clouds a champion's faces. Leonard's procession is truly staggering. Even if they are mere commoners, even if they are unarmed and empty-handed, there are simply too many of them to be stopped by a few dozen old believers. Sister Jean, look at them. Are they truly heretics? All of them? They are just people, our brothers and sisters in faith. Why would the Inquisition treat us like enemies? We do not reject the twin gods, nay, we seek them with our every thought. You rejected the law of the younger when you chose to seek your own lots. No, Jean, the only thing we reject is Asatius' error. This argument has been going on for years, Leonard. I know each and every point you can make. Don't even bother. You will not enter the temple. And all these people, you're just dragging them down to the foot of the pillar along with you. How can you still not understand this after so many years? What do you think you're doing, Leonard? Don't you fear the wrath of the gods? I do not, Jean. When I become patriarch, I will tell the twins that we still love and revere them, just as we always have, even as we seek a different path to them. The twins will hear us. They will listen. They will understand. There will be no wrath of the gods. The new believers heed Leonard's words. They begin to firmly ascend the stairs to the door of the temple. The champion's swords do not deter them. Jean watches the massive congregation approach her, her eyes filled with remorse. She raises an arm, about to give her final order. Champions of the faith, protect the sacred temple. Fight to the bitter end. You reach the foot of the stairs as she speaks these words. Oof. You know what? I kind of want to walk away. I don't do theology, man. The foot of the stairs as she speaks these words. This is your last chance to intervene. But, I appreciate the commoners here. let's see. You know what? I might do this one, because, like, Father Leonard is still defeated, and Jean gets true death, which is fine, because I'm not a fan of the Inquisition, so I do not really mind if Jean dies. Father Leonard, I don't like him, but, like, I don't really want him dead. I'm fine with defeated. Defeated's fine, because honestly, he annoys me too. I like it when they both lose. And stats-wise, this one does help me get more points with the clergy, which I need for a peaceful ending. It also gets the revolt up one, which I also need. Sounds a lot like someone else's problem, yeah. Like, I'd like to save the common folk. At least this one, it sounds like I'm just saving the common people. I'm not actually siding with either side, which I like. What are the other options? Lead the procession to the temple. Yeah, this is me siding with... Yeah, this is making sure Father Leonard becomes... My head's in the way. This is if Father Leonard becomes... Like, if I lean over this way, I think you can kind of see it. This way, Father Leonard becomes Patriarch. I don't, like... want that, really. I don't want to, like, back him or anything like that. Stand with Jean and Dry. I definitely don't want to do that. Fend them off with the champions of the faith. Oh, I don't want... This is siding with... This is still basically standing with Jean. Except not with Jean. This is, like, siding with the old believers. And this is siding with the new believers. This is siding with Jean. This is siding with Leonard. Okay. Order the priest to attack. Okay. This is... I don't really know what this one is. Oh, this is Path of the Priest, so... Yeah, and these others aren't. So this is if I were a priest, I could kind of step in and kind of take control myself. I'm fine with defending. I was gonna walk away, but I'm actually fine defending the common people of the new believers. I don't really want to, like, back Leonard and, like, back the faith, but I will defend the people. That's fine. Like, that's cool. What happens if I do this, though? I get more willpower. The revolt goes up 2. Going up 2 is nice. So does it with this one, too. But I don't really mind. Or no, it just goes up 1. But that's okay. I think I only need it to go up 1. Yeah, I'm fine with this. Yeah, this one's fine. We'll do this one. I don't mind saving the common people. I thought I'd have to side with, like, the faith itself, but here, like, I don't. So, this kind of was why I was here, to be honest. This is why all Borne sent me, so we'll go. This one makes sense. It's not, like, a religious response. Because, again, I don't do religious. My character's not very religious. But, we kind of, like, had theology being our, like, you know, low stat. But this isn't really a theological point. This is more of a militaristic point, I guess. There can never seem to be peace between the Inquisition and the New Believers. Sister Jean is right. The dispute between them has been going on for years. Neither side will ever yield to the other. Right now, there is only one thing you can do. Rescue as many of them as you can from what is to come. You gesture to your followers hurriedly. Spread out and guide the people away from here, as many as they can. Go, in the name of the younger! He's good at talking to the people, but not good at talking to gods. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Knuckle. I really like that. That's a good description. The champions of faith obey Jean's order. They get into formation and begin advancing on the new believers, weapons in hand. The unarmed mob recoils in fear, but those in the front row are pushed from behind and driven onto the blades. Blood splatters onto the stairs of the sacred temple. A woman's voice lets out a shrill scream. Panic spreads throughout the mob like wildfire. Chaos fills the minds of women and men. They begin pushing, pulling, dashing, recoiling like frightened animals, and the warriors of the church keep advancing, unrelenting and lethal. Your men have reached the edges of the square. They try to guide the new believers down back alleys, shouting, "Here, over here!" But for many of them, it's already too late. A mighty gust of wind rushes over the square. It roars, howls, almost screams, filled with remorse, agony, and wrath. The earth begins to tremble beneath your feet, before your very eyes, as though in some terrible nightmare. The roof of the sacred temple begins to shake, and the pillars start to sway back and forth. No! The world is turned upside down, like a kaleidoscope shaken by a massive hand. For several seconds, everything blends together. You fall flat on your back. Slowly, you come to your senses. You are surrounded by dozens of bodies and chunks of rock. What the? Where the temple at the Silver Tree once stood, there is nothing. The grand, majestic structure is no more. It has been leveled to the ground. Remnants of its walls and roof are scattered across the square. The stairs that once led to it have been ground into gravel. A cloud of dust slowly settles upon the square. After the dust comes the leaves. Thousands and thousands of leaves shed by the Silver Tree. They cover the corpses of the truly dead like a pale white shroud. Oh, hey, Kama, welcome, welcome. It was unexpected. What was unexpected? That's probably fine. The big earthquake or the killing. You know what? This is nice though. This is nice. It's simple that the dissension among the faith is the gods don't like it. Basically, I like this, and hopefully Jean did have true death. We already know from looking at the outcomes. It'd be nice if she died in the temple collapse. That would be good. The entire square glows as the bodies of those yet to be reborn dissolve into nothingness. There are so many that the light stings your eyes, even through the thick dust that still hangs all over it all. Just how many people met their deaths today? Sister Jean and her warriors are gone, buried beneath the rocks. The Order of the Inquisition in Anazote is finished. You stagger... Wait, so she is... Oh, they're just buried. Okay. It's fine. Doesn't really say she's dead, but she's in there. You stagger to your feet and go to where you last saw Father Leonard. You soon spot the edge of his once white cassock pinned by a chunk of broken pillar. It takes all your strength to roll the heavy stone away and drag the abbot out from under the rubble. I don't really want to save him, but it's fine. Leonard is wounded but conscious. He looks around, trying to understand what has happened. I guess I need an ally. Then slowly falls to his knees. A loud groan escapes his lips. And remember, our chief goal is destroying Otton, right? He can die, he can be exiled, I don't really care. He needs to be destroyed. And I guess I need to save him because I do need an ally in the clergy, and I'm fine with it being Leonard, I guess. Better than Jean. Need an ally, need an alibi, whatever works. She's dead, tired, just napping under that rock. Yeah, she's true dead tired. Okay, did I read that? Yeah, okay. He looks around, tries to remove the flow in the ground, grow to save his lips. Blood and tears trickle down Leonard's face, mixing together. The abbot chokes on the dust. His eyes are fixed on the ruins of what was once his temple, the bare branches of the tree piercing the sky like swords. I was wrong. The gods, they wouldn't listen to us. They rejected our faith. What do I do now, sir? What do I do? My temple, how will we live now? There's no hope left. This is the end. You didn't die. The Inquisition died. So, I don't know. I think it sounds like the gods sided with you. People's army of Otton haters. Yeah. Leonard's words become incoherent, descending into a frantic babble. You speak to the abbot, trying to console him. All is not lost. You managed to save many people. You are not sure he can hear you now. But you cannot wait for him to come to his senses. You have to take the lead, so you begin mustering your forces and getting ready to move to Empire Square. Enormous crowds of people are already on their way there, about to choose the leader of the Anazote Rebellion. The sun slowly begins to set. Okay, I'm going to take a drink while we read through this. Father Leonard defeated. Jean. True death. There's unrest, which we already knew. The rebels are winning. The clergy trust us, which is good. We needed that to have peace, but we also need the nobles to have 2 with the nobles. So I don't know how we're going to get +2 points with the nobles. It's a little... I don't know. Oh, no. Now it's evening. This is all happening in one day. Well, I thought it would be, years. The rest of the story was, up until this chapter, chapters 1 through 4, where every, section was a year. But the Revolt, it makes sense, I guess, because it's the Revolt. It's not older years or anything, so every section's a part of the day. Okay, the rebel leader. The sun is setting. The blood-red sky quavers in the hot smoke from the fires raging throughout the city. You cannot help but recall a passage from the Lives of the Twins, one of the many pages Mother used to quote when you were a child. And the elder said, "Lo, I have cast a flame into the world, and I shall guard it until it begins to blaze." Could this passage be referring to today? You lead your followers to Empire Square. You walk around the rubble. You have a very packed day. What happened? You walk around the square, past abandoned carriages and unfinished barricades. There have clearly been clashes here recently. The dust of the departed is still rising into the sky. Thousands fill the square before the Chancellery. Well over half the commoners of Anazote. The Chancellery has been under rebel control since noon. All Imperial officials either fled or were torn apart by the mob. Scraps of rumors and gossip reach your ears as you move closer. Did you hear what happened at the Great Tree? It's the Inquisitors! They just started slaughtering folk! They grabbed them swords of theirs and started killing unarmed people. Clearly we're a country accent. Leonard's procession made it into the temple. There was a sign from the twins. All lies. The twins got angry and destroyed them under the tree. The temple's gone, I tells ya, gone for good. They have pitchforks. That's how you know they talk like that. The crowd is on edge. Any dispute could explode into a brawl. A voice from the Chancellery stairs calls for another people's court. The mob turns as one. Several last straw rebels drag a handful of well-dressed nobles out onto the steps and force them to their knees. The leader of the executioners is a preacher with a mane of unkempt hair and the wild eyes of a lunatic. That guy? Father Fawd? Fuad? We'll say Fawd. I mean, because usually it'd be AU. Fuad. Father Fuad. We'll say that, Father Fuad. I kind of like it. What's his voice gonna be? The younger. He speaks through us, he does. He gave us the power of his law, the power to punish our enemies, to execute them. Anyone who stands in our way is an enemy of the twins themselves. Everyone is against the nobles, except for the nobles. Except for some of the nobles, they are, but, you know. People, it's time to judge these enemies of the simple folk. What is your sentence? The mob roars so loudly the square shakes. Death, true death. The last straw rebels ready their guns. One of the captives gets to his feet and speaks out defiantly. Friedrich L. Laberius. You dare to call this pathetic freak show a people's court. You don't have the power. You never have and you never will. You think you can wield the law of the twins. Bah! We'll come back, and we'll make you pay. The aged nobleman's last words were drowned out by a thunderous volley of gunfire. One by one, the nobles collapse, their bodies pierced by bullets. They remain where they fall. The mob gasps in amazement. There can be no doubt the people's court has the power to mete out true death at will. And this is what will happen to anyone who dares to oppose us. All hail the revolt. All hail our leader. All hail Sophia. Sophia's gonna lead us. She's gonna fend off the Legion. She's gonna bring justice. First to Anazote, then to the whole Empire. She's gonna tear down the old ways and wipe all them tyrants and nobles from the face of the world. The mob explodes into an ecstatic chant. They shout one word over and over again. Sophia, Sophia. The enormous throng bellows wildly, eager to see the face of its leader. Okay. Okay. I might metagame this. Okay, because I know if Sophia leads the revolt, it's doomed. This doesn't really also help me very much, but Sophia will like me more, but like, is reading Unite is untie. Those are opposite things. Overthrow Sophia. Sophia leader revolt. Oh, okay, she's already leading the revolt, right. But I know we can't keep it that way. We can overthrow her, we cannot get involved. But I know that to have a good ending, I have to overthrow her. Like, for the best ending, I have to overthrow her. I lose some troops, that's fine. Ooh, the revolt goes down too, though. But maybe when I'm in charge. Oh, and the up one with the clergy? I need to get up one with the nobles. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. Okay, Let's see. Oh, and to do this one anyway, you already need to have an 8 or less. So like for the revolt. I used 5 willpower, but I'm only using 5 willpower here and there. Like maybe a big willpower choice will come up, but not yet. Sure, there. I wouldn't want to do that. Break up the mob. I don't want to do that per se. I want to lead it. Take control. This is the only other option I feel like I would like to do. Unite them around Sophia. Like, I don't know, Sophia's been a little bit harsh. I don't necessarily like her tactics. Like, I've supported her so far. Well, as she's been a rebel, I have not really supported her. I, like, have kind of done a couple things for her. We're on good terms. But, like, so I don't feel like I have to side with her. Like, Borne, I have to side with Borne. Like, because we've been working together this whole time. But I'm not the path of the lawless. I have not been siding with Sophia. I've been helping her now and again, but like, you know, it's not like I've been super involved with her. And then do not get involved. I could just, I don't want to not get involved, like, obviously. So I'm going to metagame this a little bit. I mean, they are pretty strict, not strict, but they do keep showing me, like, here's where the stats stand. Hey, these are the things that you can do. So they have shown me a little bit more than usual, so I don't really mind metagaming a little bit. So I'm gonna try it for this one, I think. Yeah. Because I know that I need to overthrow her. And like, this is the part where I feel like the game hasn't been quite clear, as I think they've kind of been suggesting that Sophia's tactics have been like, because like me, I've been fighting this thing through legal means. Like, I've been doing it through court precedents and stuff like that. But Sophia's been like making bombs. Like, remember that. She's been making bombs. So like, I feel like we definitely are like, we don't have to do this that way. Like, we're working in the prefecture to do this through the law. Give us a chance. Like, we're helping you, but you might be a little bit going a little hard on this. Like, weaken the nobility through the law and then take them on by force. But like, you don't need bombs. Like, that's a little much. Like, we gotta have some order here, you know. We can't just go willy-nilly killing people all over the place. And then if that's the case, we're not any better than Otton, you know? So I'm kind of just like talking to myself, you know, trying to convince myself to metagame this. But I kind of feel that like there are hints in the game. But the fact that I used up one of my lives for Sophia as a child makes me want to side with her. The fact that I helped her escape from Otton before when she was his like servant, and like was like, I don't know if he was abusing her or basically it was bad times for her and when she was serving him. I mean, he was probably abusing her. I mean, he's Otton. He was doing his thing. Definitely bullying, if nothing else. So, you know, so I want to side with her, but also, like, she isn't doing things right, and I like need to remember that. I feel like the game hasn't stressed that enough, so I feel like it's not a really good reason, but probably is. Anyway, so we'll do this because I know I'm supposed to. Okay. The rebel leader. You make your way through the crowd and reach the chancellery stairs. Your silhouette seems to blaze in the light of the setting sun. You raise a clenched fist in the air, demanding silence. Your voice booming, you make your proclamation. Sophia is no longer the leader of the revolt. I, Sir Brante, lead you now. The people freeze in astonishment when they hear this. A murmur of discontent spreads throughout the crowded square. Who does this Brante guy think he is? We follow Sophia, not you. The discontent grows, but you refuse to relent. Sophia was leading your city to destruction, slaughter, and death. Had she remained in charge, it would have meant suffering for us all. Yes, because I don't really necessarily like this people's court where there's, you know, firing squad executing people out in the street. I'm not sure I like that one. You were gathered here not to revel in revenge or destruction, For the first time in history, you have what it takes to lay the foundation of a new world, a world where justice is the same for all, where all estates are equal, where we are free of the laws. You will defend this city, you will fend off the Legion, you will persevere and show the Empire that you are a force to be reckoned with. And once they finally realize they have no choice but to reckon with you, they will reckon with all the commoners of the Empire. You end your speech, exhausted and hoarse. The murmur fades away. All fear and uncertainty are gone. The thousands of people in the square are no longer suspicious of you. They are hopeful once more. You can see it in their eyes. Then come the first shouts. Lead us, Brant. We're right behind you. Sir Brant! Sir Brant! Suddenly, a loud, shrill cry resounds behind you, cutting through the cheers. Traitor! Death to the traitor, Brant! Hey, Kama, you're lurking. The crowds fall silent. All eyes are on a figure descending the chancellery stairs. Twin sepia flames smolder in the young woman's eyes, alright, her witchcraft. Brant is lying to you people. If you follow him, you'll be slaves until the end of time. Don't you know that our enemy can't be bargained with? First, they'll throw us a bone just to restore order, and then they'll get even stronger and tighten the nooses around our necks. We can't reason with them. We have to destroy them. Today is the first day of a new era. We will begin by taking back our city. We will eliminate anyone who dares to stand in our way. Then we will declare a war against the old regime, against the entire empire. No mercy. Upon hearing these words, even the most frantic rebels fall silent. A frightened murmur ripples through the crowd. Is Sophia asking them to take on the entire world? Sophia raises her arms skyward. Her eyes are like two blazing suns. Anyone who turns tail and runs is an enemy of the revolt, our enemy. The crowd remains silent, transfixed by Sophia's glowing gaze. No one will dare utter a word against her now. This is your last chance to take action before the entire mob turns on you. You take a deep breath and scream at the top of your lungs, "She's a witch! It's all witchcraft! Sophia is using magic to control your minds." See, it's clear that she is the villain, so I don't feel too bad. I wanted to side with her, right? The rebel leader seems like it should be a cool person, but, she's just not. This is mind control is not it. Incredulous murmurs spread throughout the crowd. You shout as loud as you can. Sophia is just as much a tyrant as those she wants to overthrow. She'll take away your old shackles and replace them with magical ones. She doesn't care about the people. She only wants one thing, to watch the world burn. The thousands of eyes around you no longer reflect Sophia's golden glow. Confusion spreads among the people. Who should they listen to? Not a good person, but top tier waifu material. I mean, if she doesn't have you killed first. Thousands of eyes around you no longer affect Sophia's glow. Confusion spreads among the people they listen to. The shout begins. Burn the witch! She wants us all dead. Don't judge your preferences. Alright, fair enough. Desperate for support, Sophia glances back at her gang. Enough of this! Kill Brant, his lapdogs! Look. We were friends, Sophia. I died for you. And now you're gonna have me killed, huh? The time for words has passed. The last straw soldiers reach for their guns, but you are already shouting orders. Your battalions advance on them. The mob is split by the ensuing chaos. Some commoners defend Sophia's cause, while others side with you. More still flee the square as fast as their legs can carry them. The last straw! Ready! Aim! Fire! Rebel squads dash out of the chancellery, firearms in hand. The volleys come in quick succession. A hail of bullets hits the square, sparing no one from either side. Commoners trying to escape die along with your soldiers. Dozens of people fall to the ground in the mindlessly jostling throng, only to be trampled by the fleeing horde. Blood runs down the cobblestones. The corpses of those killed dissipate in the shimmering mist. The battle is a short one. The firearms hold back your assault, the enemy's bullets taking your men out one by one. But you outflank Sophia's forces and engage them in hand-to-hand combat. The surviving insurgents drop to their weapons and beg you not to execute them. They are willing to fight on your side and hand their leader over to you. Sophia is quickly bound and hurled to the ground at your feet. The rebel leader glares at you from behind a mass of tangled hair. You remind the wounded soldiers that time is of the essence. You must dispose of Sophia for good. The time has come for the People's Court. You command your squad to stand Sophia against the wall of the chancellery and take aim. Sophia scrambles to her feet with difficulty. Her face is a hideous mask of bruises. Too bad it took me so long to figure out what you really are, Brant. Too bad. But this ain't over yet. Before you know it, you'll be burning in the fire I started, you and this whole ungodly world. Bitter tears run down Sophia's cheeks. For a split second, you see the frightened girl from next door, pursued by terrifying horsemen. Pursued, probably. You cut Sophia off and address what remains of the mob. It is time for Sophia to stand trial. They will judge her in the name of the people of Anazote. This woman was plotting to destroy the city and start a bloodbath that would doom us all, commoners and the other estates alike. For the sake of the people, Sophia must be sentenced to true death. Perused? I'm not even sure what they're talking about, because she was just, like, in the road as... Unless they mean when she was running from Otton's after she was, like, running away and escaping his, like, servitude. Maybe that's what they mean. The second one, right? I don't know. People of Anazote, you say? What say you? Sorry. Death. The volley of gunshots. A volley of gunshots. Sophia is hurled against the wall, shaking violently. She collapses to the ground. Her eyes, which had shone with a livid yellow glow just moments ago, are extinguished forever. The soldiers slowly lower their firearms. You turn to the silent crowd. The verdict of the People's Court has been carried out. The citizens have saved Anazote from death and destruction. Tonight we must also save it from the Legion. We will no longer be led by Sophia's blind hatred. We will stand firm. We know what we are fighting for. You see hope return to the faces of the disconcerted people. They were shaken by Sophia's death. Was that outside or was that in the game? Because it was kind of a loud boom. Sounded like it was outside. And people still set off fireworks, so like, I don't know. They were shaken by Sophia's death, but you showed them a new goal, and they have cast their fears aside. Lead us, Brant. Even the old guard of the last straw, who have always been loyal to Sophia, will follow you. The Revolt City has accepted you as its new leader. The Revolt City. That's a weird phrase. Okay. Executed. Meanwhile, the watchmen at the gate bring news. The Legion is only a few hours away. The final battle is drawing near. Will the outcome of the revolt be decided in combat, or is there a peaceful solution? It all depends on the actions you take in the coming hours. Oof, whoa, lots of things moving around. Okay, alright, so we're the leader of the common folk. We're apparently the leader of the clergy somehow. We only have a regiment, but that's fine. That's all we actually need for even the peaceful, even the military ending. Or the good military ending that we potentially will accept. And the revolt is in a stalemate, though. This is going to be our concern. Our concern is we want 2 more points with the nobles, and we want the revolt to be more, which is hard because I don't know how we're going to get both of those things. Okay, leading the revolt. Eliminate Sophia. You succeed Sophia as the leader of all the rebel forces in Anazote. Okay, wow. Alright, I'm gonna take a drink. That's right, I'll be leading both sides. Well, not the nobles. They have 0 with them, but oh no, a consequence. Hearth and home. Ooh, the revolt is over 1 and my family is in the city. Okay. They're still fine, right? They're not gonna burn my house. It's my house. I'm their leader. Don't burn my house. While you are busy preparing, night falls over Anazote. The darkness brings disorder, lawlessness, and chaos. Like, literally, my dad is the only noble in that house, okay? Like, my brother and sister are not nobles. Let them be. In the dark, madmen, robbers, and looters flood the city. These gangs have no interest in the fate of the Empire or the Revolt. Oh, because they're just random looters. They see the uprising as a sign that the end of the world is nigh, and if the wrath of the gods is at hand, then everything is permitted. Upon hearing reports of gangs roaming the streets, you sense danger. What is to stop them from attacking your home? Your people may need you, but you will never abandon your family. Taking a squad of loyal men with you, you hurry to your home district. Your instinct proves to be correct. Even before reaching your street, you smell smoke. Sir Tibor's school is ablaze. That was our school! That was our elementary school! The old man was hurled out a 3rd-story window and impaled on the sharp spikes of the gate below. Ashes from dozens of burning books blanket the ground like black snow. Oh no. Thomas's old house lies in ruins. Oh, cool. Good thing he's not there. Hopefully his parents are fine. Breathless, you run up the street. Your men can barely keep up with you. You hope you are not too late. You round the last turn. There it is, the gate of your ancestral home. Is it on fire? You see dozens of figures approaching by the light of the burning houses. The thugs are close, too close. You run through the gate and into the house. Your men stay to guard the outside. You hastily open the door. Your father's on the doorstep, sword in hand. He recognizes you and lets out a sigh of relief. It's you, sir. I'm so glad you're here. The bastards have burned down half the district, and they're on their way here. He is cut short. The living room window is shattered. A torch lands on the floor. You quickly stamp out the flames. Spoof. Fire put out. A battle is in full swing in the front yard. A massive crowd is furiously attacking your soldiers without any regard for their own safety. The looters are led by a rugged, half-naked old man clad in rags. Horrible scars on his wrists and ankles reveal his past as a convict. He yells frantically in your direction, his shrieks cutting through the din of the fray. The world is coming to an end. We've disobeyed the twins and they're punishing us. There ain't no punishment worse than this, so there ain't nothing to fear. These are our last hours. Do whatever you want. The crowd bellows in support of the old man. Your soldiers fall one after another beneath the onslaught of the rabid gang. The twins have damned us all. We've been damned for your sins, you filthy nobles, you false priests. But before we face our final judgment, we'll dole out a little punishment of our own. Hee hee hee. We'll take our revenge on you before we die. Our judgment cometh. Excuse me, sir. I'm the leader of the rebels. Get your act together. A little bit of respect. The horde crushes your squad's resistance and approaches the house. The stomping of their feet shakes the windows. Your father looks at you in despair. They want to execute us. What do we do, son? Okay, we have some options. We don't die for our home, thank God. We can flee alone. Then all our family die. Oh my gosh, okay, we can subdue the thugs. The revolt goes lower though. Oh man, this hurts the revolt in all of these. Oh no. Oh no, I think we're gonna have to call in the troops. We hurt the revolt a little bit. We need to get the revolt better. It needs to be higher than this. This 4 is gonna be real bad. And we need more troops too. Oh man. So that you are on their side. Oh man, why can't I do this one? Because our dad isn't a rebel. Oh, man, Dad, come on. Or is the kill your father choice? So think of my husband. Yeah, you know, I could choose one of them to kill to convince them. What if I kill my dad? Because see, the thing is, Nathan and Gloria are not nobles. So what if I just kill my father to convince them? And then we'll have saved, and I have enough manipulation and eloquence to do it. So what if I just kill my father to convince them? And then he just dies on behalf of Nathan and Gloria. I mean, I think he'll be fine with that, right? That seems fair. Fight for our home, but that's because we have enough valor, but we need Steven, and I killed him. Whoops. And I can kill this leader, which I don't like him, but that's because I didn't take the fencing lesson, so whoops. My bad. Oh, but then I'd be down with common folk, and I don't really want that. We'll call in the troops. Oh man, we're losing troops. But I gotta do this way, because this one's worse, because then I'm losing. I can't have 3 with the common. I need 3 with the common folk. I can't lose my position in this rebellion. I need to lead. You carefully peer out the window. The attackers are too many. Your small squad has already fallen. There is only one chance for you to protect your home. Call in reinforcements. You could sneak outside and dash to where your men are stationed. Steven, he only needs to be at home. I mean, I guess that's true. There's only one chance for you to protect. Call in reinforcements. You could sneak. Okay, yeah, station. Okay, where is that? But if you were to return to something more than a heap of smoldering ash, someone must stall the attackers until help arrives. I'm afraid that if they see me, they won't even bother to talk, son. Nathan suddenly speaks from behind father. His voice is unusually firm. I'll go. I have something to tell them. Is that you, Nathan? Wow, look at you. You washed your hair for this. Wow, those clothes, I was expecting Gloria. This is usually Gloria's outfit, but hey, look at you. And you shaved? I'm shocked. He squares his shoulders, his gaze fixed resolutely before him. Is this really your little brother? That's what I was gonna say. Father blocks his way. No, Nathan. Come to your senses. You put your hand on Father's shoulder. The family has always considered Nathan a failure, but you know that he's anything but. Let him speak to the crowd. Father steps aside, staring at his youngest son in astonishment. Go Nathan, though. This is your moment. Good for you. I'm proud of you. Nathan flings the door open and walks out to face the enraged horde. Hey, one of them came out on his own. Take him alive. He's not even a noble. Paying the old madman no heed, Nathan begins his speech. He speaks quietly but sincerely, and the furious crowd soon falls into a strange stupor. Listen to me, people. I know you're suffering. I used to be just like your leader. I lost my faith in the twins. I thought they hated us, their own creation, and that was why they doomed us to eternal misery, both in this world and the next. Yeah. Don't screw it up, Nathan. Don't be a failure, please. But then the truth was revealed to me. I beheld the elder up close, just as I see you now. I saw pity writ upon his face, and he gave me an omen. Let it be known that he has descended to this world again. He will behold our suffering. He will show us mercy. The world will not end. Upon hearing Nathan's words, the crowd murmurs in awe. Could one of the twins really be speaking through him? But you have no time to think. You dash out to the yard. Several thugs await you there. Desperation lends you strength. You run past your foes, leap over the fence in a single bound, and land in the darkness of the back alley. Run, Brant, don't stop. Your heart is pounding in your chest. You never knew you could run so fast. You just hope you were not too late. At last, you reach your troops. Frantically shouting orders, you assemble a large unit and immediately head back. When you finally return to your house, you hear furious cries. Nathan's sermon is being drowned out by the frantic shrieks of the false prophet. How long are you gonna listen to him, you fools? He's just a noble brat trying to bargain a few more minutes to live. He ain't a priest. You think the elder really spoke to him? It's all lies. The end of the world is nigh. No one can stop us anymore. Not the nobles, not the priests, not even the twins themselves. It's our final hours. We're taking power in our hands. Feel our wrath. Brant family, we hereby sentence you to true death by fire. Not daring to defy the old man, the crowd is about to hurl torches into the house. This order your men to attack. Okay, you order your men to attack, I guess? Your squad rushes through the gate. The low-born thugs are caught unawares, but their leader urges them to fight. The hordes fight fiercely, sparing neither their enemies nor themselves. Yeah, this is... a couple typos, like this clearly has a lot of text, like if you consider all the paths in the game, but this little section here, the end where we're really getting into it, has a little bit more typos than the rest of the game, I'd have to say. The horde fights fiercely, sparing neither their enemies nor themselves. Your soldiers are not expecting such resistance from indignant rabble. You lead your troops forward relentlessly, but they take heavy casualties. Fight 'em, punish 'em. We got nothing more to fear. End times is already here, hee. Axe in hand, the old madman rushes at Nathan as he calls out to the twins. To the foot of the pillar with you, heretic. I'm the leader of the clergy, excuse me. I'm not just the leader of the commoners, but also the clergy. Who are you talking to, buddy? You can't do that. You can't know your place. You shout at the top of your lungs. Nathan, run! The door swings open. Father dashes out to help his youngest son. The leader of the mob raises his axe, aiming for Nathan's head, but your brother just stares back at him, completely still. Suddenly the old man's hand begins to tremble. The weapon falls out from his fingers. He gapes into Nathan's eyes in bewilderment. A split second later, Father runs his sword straight through the man's throat with perfect precision. His voice booms above the battle. Run, you bastards! Leave our home and never come back! The mob hesitates. One by one, the looters drop their weapons and flee. If Nathan is right and the sun really will rise tomorrow, they still have much to lose. You have won. Breathing heavily, you exchange tired glances with your father and younger brother. You have defended your ancestral home. Father lowers his weapon with a sigh of relief. Where's Gloria? Sir, Nathan, I was so afraid I'd lose you both. Yeah, Dad didn't skip his sword lessons. No, he's good at sword. He's good at sword. Nathan smiles serenely, as though a bloody battle had not been waged in front of him. The twins love us, Father. Soon they'll release this world from its suffering. You embrace your father and younger brother warmly, but you cannot stay any longer. The preparations for the decisive battle are not finished. I understand, son. Take care. I hope to see you again soon. May the twins protect you, brother. You leave part of your squad behind in case of another attack. You say your goodbyes and take off to face your fate. It is almost midnight. Do we have like an appointment at midnight or something? Okay, now we're not looking too good. Yikes. Okay, but my family's rescued, and that's important. Much good at sword, yeah. It's the end. Oh no, I don't have enough for anything. I lose. Oh no. Maybe this will change stuff. I think there will be some consequences that'll change the rankings a little bit, because that's what happened before. It is mere moments from midnight. The glow of the shining pillar is barely visible behind the crimson clouds coming in from the north. But the darkness hanging above the city is dissipated by countless lights, crowds of people holding torches, stakes burning in the squares, houses in flames. The glow of the fires can also be seen from beyond the city walls. The Legion marches down the road, inexorably approaching the gate of a city in the throes of rebellion. The final battle draws near. All the forces that have chosen to defy the Overseer and the Empire flock to the city gate, where you have set up your base. The soldiers of the last straw assemble commoners into squads and hastily arm them. Other rebels are led by the nobles of the Mantle and former members of the Legion who have joined the revolt. The priests who have sided with you will spread the word of the twins from the city walls, attempting to convince the Legion soldiers to retreat and allow the people of Anizote to be free of the laws. You know, as long as Otton dies, actually, I'm fine. Preparations are also in full swing at the camp of the defenders of the Old Order, who have established a foothold in the ruins of Char Melanidos's palace. Soon their fate will be decided. Will they crush the revolt with the aid of the Legion, or be crushed themselves by the new era? There is almost no time left, just enough for one last attempt to tip the scales in your favor. Will you spend this final hour appealing to one of your allies for help? Ooh, okay. Or would it be wiser to wait and muster your forces for the final battle? I thought we had Leonard on our side. Remember when I was like, oh hey, at least we have an ally? I saved him. Where is he now? It will be wiser to wait and muster your forces for the final battle. Will you attempt to defeat the Legion and the Overseer's army in battle, or persuade them to retreat without engaging in battle? The fate of Anizote is in your hands. Okay. This one, I get +1 with the nobles, but that's not enough. This one I get 10. I don't want willpower. I don't need willpower. We're gonna see Borne. Otherwise, this would raise the revolt, also raise the clergy, and that one we don't need that though. That's the thing. Only if we help him be patriarch. Wow, he asked for a lot, huh? Yeah, we saved him, but our family. Yeah, oh yeah, and our family. We also saved our family. Our dad's still not a rebel. Excuse you, sir. Okay, and this is because we had Sophia killed, but you know what? That's fine. Whatever. It's obviously the better option. We're gonna go to Borne, as we have our entire adult life. Okay. There are many highborn families in Anizote that have not yet responded to Otton's appeal. Well, what annoys me is if I muster the troops, right? I only get 10 willpower, I do not actually get more troops. And I feel that my troops should be like, you know, I mean, obviously, I don't know, I feel like there should be more of them. No, I should have more in the troops category, right? There are many highborn families in Anizote that have not yet responded to Otton's appeal to join the noble militia. They have preferred to lock themselves up in their mansions and avoid waging war against the lowborn. They could still be won over to your side, but you need help from a high-ranking nobleman. While there is still time, you take a few trusted men and head to the prefecture. Borne greets you on the stairs, surrounded by gendarmes. He accepts your request eagerly. You're right, Brant. There are many nobles who are uncertain as to what fate will befall them if the revolt wins. We need to reassure them if we want to gain their support. With the help of the gendarmes, you send out an appeal to all the noble houses you consider dependable. Borne signs the letter to each family personally. Noble sirs, you may know me as a man of honor. I have been a loyal servant to the Overseer, but my ultimate duty is to uphold the law and ensure justice for all of these states. The high-handedness of the noble elite and their neglect of their lot, which is to rule the lowly estates with care and wisdom, has led to the people of Anizote to the brink of despair. This is why I have sided with the revolt, and I encourage you to do the same. May it be known that once our victory has been achieved, none of you will face reprisal. I, Prefect Borne, hereby swear that anyone who supports the revolt in word or deed will obtain a rightful place in the newly transformed city of Anizote. The messengers return one by one, bringing back news that noble families have agreed not to stand in the way of the revolt. Only a few of them leave Elborne's appeal unanswered. The support of the nobles will be of great value in the critical hours of the confrontation. Midnight strikes. You can hear the menacing tread of the Legion outside the city walls. The time has come. You order your troops to assemble and prepare to defend the wall. Okay, we have one from the nobles and our revolt. Okay, our revolt, we're working on it. We just need one more point for the rebels to be winning, and that's really what I think we need. But we also need more army, too. And for a peaceful ending, we need one more with the nobles. Okay. Ooh, okay. Yikes. Okay. This is because we don't have a high enough in the revolt category. Battle for Anazote. A dark void beyond the walls. Music's cool though. The dark void beyond the walls of Anazote is lit by hundreds of lights. Heavy boots tread the soil. Armor clanks. Halberds gleam. Drums beat a lively march. Lit by the glow of the torches, the Mogren Legion approaches the city walls. The Imperial army finally arrives to put an end to this unfathomable revolt. Gaius Tempest himself leads the Legion. It is the Overseer's duty to crush the revolt this very night and pacify the city before news of the incident spreads throughout the Empire. If the Overseer's hesitation allows the revolt to last even a few days, it could jeopardize not only his position, but even the fate of the entire province that has been entrusted to him. The entire city rebelling against Imperial rule. Nothing like this has happened for generations. But what is afoot within the walls of Anazote? The decisions you made today have left the city in a state of chaos and unrest. The defenders of the Empire are not strong enough to crush the revolt and disperse the armed crowds, but the leaders of the revolt have not managed to unite the insurgents under a single banner either. Neither side has the upper hand. Riots and fires continue in the streets. Many commoners have decided to use this opportunity to exact personal revenge or loot homes and businesses. However, fear of the punishment that will befall them if the Legion wins is still strong among the simple folk. However, the main forces of the revolt maintain order in their camp, with a firm hand. There are still many insurgents who are ready to fight to the true death for their cause. The soldiers of the last straw, reckless conspirators, and dangerous fighters taught by Sophia to struggle against the old order until the bitter end. Zealous new believers who would rather face execution than betray their faith. Poor nobles and former Legion soldiers who have joined the revolt in violation of their oath of loyalty to the Empire. They know there will be no mercy for them, so they have nothing to lose. All the remaining rebel forces gather at a fortified base by the city gate. The rebels have surrounded it with the barricades, preparing to repel an attack from either side. The soldiers of the revolt, some armed with axes and spears, some with firearms, and some with simple rocks, hastily assemble atop the walls. The Legion gets into formation in front of the gate, ready to begin the assault as soon as their commander gives the order. The defenders atop the walls respond by raising their firearms. A herald from Gaius Tempest comes forward, stopping mere steps from the gate. He loudly proclaims the Overseer's demands. My subjects, lay down your arms this instant, and open the gate. I know that you have been deceived by the insurgency. You have my word as an Archnean ruler that I will spare anyone who aids the Legion and returns over to the leaders of the revolt. Should you disobey this order from your lawful ruler, none of you will escape disgrace, execution, and eternal torment at the foot of the shining pillar. The Legion herald proudly lifts his head, awaiting the rebels' decision. You cast a quick glance at your allies. Ooh. Get rid of Sophia. Man. Oh, this would have been for us. Okay, never mind. That's fine. How does getting rid of Sophia kill us? I was like, could we not have killed her earlier, and could we have killed her now? That would have been nice. You can't. Time for preparations has ended. Everything depends on the size of your army and the balance in the city between the forces you have managed to win over and those you have antagonized. Oh, man. I lost. The next hour will determine your place in history. I can die for the revolt. Oh, but it's still gonna be dark times. Or I can flee the city. This is the exact same. Oh, this is better because I have 20 scheming. So I guess I'll flee. I guess. Because dying for the revolt isn't actually gonna do anything. Like, if something good happened, die in battle, that also doesn't do anything. Could rout the insurgents. Oh, but the power. I didn't realize I needed more power. Oh, and this is, I would have needed to defend the Empire. This is like, yeah, siding with the nobles. Defend the city. What am I missing? Ah, troops! Why'd I save my family? I should have let them die. Remember, killing Otton was the most important thing. Oh, how could I have lost sight? Man. I'm gonna flee the city, it's fine. Darn it. The city is at a crossroads. This is it, the moment when the scales could be tipped by a single person. Unfortunately, that person is not you. You know what? You've done what you could, but it is not enough. The forces you managed to gather, you know, maybe it's the forces. Maybe these people, maybe all these other people, maybe they're also at fault. Together, you will not be able to make any difference in the battle for Anisote. You know what? I'm just one person, okay? I've already done a lot. Shots. It's been a long day. Shots ring out from the walls, and Gaius Tempest Herald falls from his horse. The rebels have responded to the Overseer's demands, and they have done it without you. You can either doom yourself and your allies, or leave the city to the whim of fate and try to save your own life. You choose to flee. The narration is a jerk, yeah. The rumble of thousands of boots can be heard from behind the rumble of thousands of boots can be heard from behind the walls. The deafening cracks of gunshots echo through the streets. Transfixed, your allies stare at the battle as it unfolds. Unbeknownst to anyone, you sneak down the nearest side street. Darkness blankets the city, dispersed here and there by the glow of the fires. You are one of many citizens scrambling to take cover. No one stands in your way. How can you escape a city under siege without being noticed? Even though you are alone, it is a difficult undertaking, but you have studied the darkest corners of Anisote quite thoroughly. You know where to go. The din of the battle soon grows quieter. You are near the west wall, by some old ruins. There are no inhabited homes here, not even the campfires of tramps. No one but scroungers and scavengers has set foot here for years. Waste and sewage is brought here from all over the city. There it is, the sound of running water very close to the wall. The odor assaults your nostrils. You cover your face with your sleeve and try to breathe as little as possible. Rats scurry as you approach. You step on something soft that makes an unpleasant crunching noise beneath your foot. Trying to tread carefully, you approach the wall. The revolting stench makes your eyes water. Your stomach heaves. No, that is not the sound of running water. This tiny creek hidden under piles of trash used to be a spring, but there is an old drain in the wall. It is now full of foul waste that is slowly oozing out of it. Why did we get the gross ending? The wall is not all that wide. As repulsive as this path may be, it is a way out. Do you have any other choice? You did once, but not now. I mean, the last choice I had was this or die, so there is no more time. Covering your face, you take a deep breath, hunch over, and plunge into the foul-smelling muck. See, maybe this way I still have a chance to kill Otton when I'm out in the world. You know, maybe it's not over. After several lunges through the viscous sludge, you finally emerge, breathless, filthy, and exhausted, on the other side of the wall. You are free. It is quiet and dark. You can barely hear the noise of the battle from here. What is happening back there? You cannot tell. The battle is no longer your concern. You scrutinize the desolate horizon. What awaits you at the end of the road? How will the chaos in Anisote end? What fate will befall the rest of the Empire? You cannot say. Everything you fought for, suffered for, strived to achieve, you have left it all behind. But at least you managed to save yourself. As you look back at your life, your choices and decisions, your failures and achievements, you realize one thing. This life is a tale that deserves to be told. Before you vanish into oblivion forever, you will tell your story. The story of a man named Sir Brante. You take one last look at the city walls, then vanish into the wastelands of Magra. So the church is in the middle, schism. There's unrest. At least they're, have security money-wise. And there's still struggle for power, but it's leaning toward the nobility, man. And we have we have 5 willpower. No. Yeah, okay, we lost 5. Our willpower's at 5, so let's say, okay. So at least we're not below 0 willpower. Event has happened, dark times, okay. You know what? Sometimes you lose. But we escaped.
Neither side could overcome the other. The fire of the revolt could not be extinguished. The province, and then the whole empire, fell on troubled times.
Outcome of the revolt. When the moment of truth came, there was no soul in Anisote strong-willed enough to spearhead the raging revolt. The opposing factions soon reached a stalemate in which neither side could prevail completely. See, I would have been able to do it if I hadn't saved my family. Oh, I can't believe how I lost sight of the real goal. Anazo refused to surrender, but after a prolonged siege, I wish I had never gone back to my house. You know what I mean? Oh, that was the problem with keeping my family in the city. It's because I went back to my house. Because I can't like let them die when I'm at my house and be like, well, okay, yeah, those soldiers are coming for you. Well, I'm gonna dip. See ya. Like, I couldn't do that. You know, I couldn't like just give them up, like say to their faces, have fun dying. Like, I can't do that. You know, I shouldn't have gone back. If I hadn't gone back to my house, I'd be fine letting them die. You know, but I can't let them die if I'm there with them. Like, that's just rude. It's called manners. Anazo refused to surrender, but after a prolonged siege, Gaius Tempest finally broke the city's defenses, and the Legion entered the rebellious city of Anazote. The insurgents fled, the mobs disappeared from the squares and the streets, the leaders of the revolt were hanged. Oh yeah, but did Otton die? Please tell me someone killed him. That's all I care about. But the city's capture made even more trouble for the Overseer. The unrest was beaten down, but not suppressed completely. New riots followed one by one as the common folk, the new faith priests, and many nobles of the mantle continued to wage a desperate struggle against the old authorities. Gaius Tempest responded to the seething rebellion with more executions and threats, but dissent continued to grow. As the unrest in the city smoldered, the rest of the empire eventually caught wind of the Anazote revolt. Nearby Magran towns and villages saw their first riot soon after. Chaos soon began to spread across the empire. The empire responded to this enduring turmoil with ruthless action. But even after several villages and towns were drowned in blood, the riots only intensified. The dominance of the empire and the dynasty began to wane. Power struggles broke out between the powerful nobles in the capital. Then a shocking event shook the empire to its core. Emperor Uther II was found dead in his palace, never to be reborn. His heirs, Jarian and Flavius, both disappeared without a trace. With no one to take the throne, the noble dynasties accused one another of plotting against the Tempest's rule. Feuds and internecine strife became commonplace. And so began an age of anarchy, a time of massacre and riots, conflict and bloodshed, chaos and unrest. There were no winners in this war of all against all, only survivors. The empire ended a dark and terrible age. You know what? But at least it was interesting. Interesting times. Another Terry Pratchett reference. Second one of the day! The power struggle in Magra continues. None of the factions are strong enough to prevail over the others. The estates are locked in a civil war. The common folk have rebelled against the rule of Gaius Tempest, and the nobility has been shattered into feuding camps. Yeah, I'm on a roll. Woo! Let's see how many more. I probably could have thrown in a few more if I was really trying. These are serendipitous Terry Pratchett, which is probably the best Terry Pratchett. Animosity and strife have taken over. If this continues, Magra could remain divided for a very long time. The clash between old faith and the new continued. As the schism in the clergy grew, the people of Magra remained similarly divided. Neither doctrine has enough power to prevail over the other, so the venomous accusations and fervent disputes continue. You know, maybe both of them could exist. It isn't an all or nothing when it comes to religion. You can, like, opt in. Did you people think of that? Like, having different faiths and people can choose? Maybe some separation of church and state, because, like, the old faith is all, like, you have your lots and your station in life. Maybe if it wasn't so controlling. I guess that's the whole point of the new faith. But, like, if people follow the old faith, then they can follow their lot. It sounds like it's up to them, you know? Just individuality, man. Neither doctrine has enough power to the other to continue. The Inquisition is powerless to end the struggle. The strife between the faiths will continue to fester. The people of the province and the empire will never be at peace until they decide which path of worship is the one that leads to the twins. Okay. The farmers, miners, and tradesmen in Magra managed to survive the years of unrest. Once those dark days were behind them, they quickly recovered. The fields filled with imported soil continued to supply the people with food, and the Magran silver mines maintained a steady flow of the blessed metal to the rest of the empire. See, at least we kept the wealth up. The economy is good. Everything else sucks, but the economy is good. And you know what? I'll take that as a win. Whatever happens next, the province is safe from poverty and hunger. You know what? I'm happy about that. Yeah, it's a real goal. That's all I care about. The years of unrest have left a mark on Magra. People no longer fear or respect the rule of law. Disorder continues to spread throughout the land. Because, like, if the faiths want a war with each other, that's a choice between the faiths. If political struggles, you know what, that's, like, up for debate. Some people want one, some people want the other, they can struggle. But no one should be poor and no one should be hungry. You know what, that's not an up for debate thing. That's not, you know, that shouldn't waver. People no longer fear or respect the rule of law. Disorder continues to spread throughout the land. Okay, so like the not liking the law and like probably like robbing and killing people, that probably isn't good. People aren't safe. I'd prefer for them to be safe. But the first step is making sure that they're not in poverty and that they're not hungry. Step one. You know what? Someone else can take it from here. The only thing capable of maintaining an unsteady balance is brute force, as carnage, riots, and disdain for the law continue to plague the province. It will be a long time before Magra has a chance at peace again. Divine Omens. For many years after the revolt in Anazote, the people of the Empire told the tale of how the Elder Twin himself visited the mortal world once again. He donned the guise of a common mortal to seek the truth of his own creation and settle a dispute with the younger, but no one helped him find the answer he sought. Is that like a story about Nathan? And so, as the legend goes, the Elder Twin returned to the Shining Pillar, never to descend to the mortal realm again. Kind of sounds like it's about Nathan. Oh, hello, welcome, Mod Pies. Connie's basis of everything, so it's definitely okay ending. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, that's a starting point, you know? Like, it's not complete disaster. Yes, this is what I want to know. Dorius Otton, as long as he dies, the Arctic commander fought with all his might against the rebellious rabble he so despised. This was our goal. This was our one goal. Like, having rebels in power, commoners in power. Honestly, that's all someone else's business. My business is Otton. The Arctic commander fought with all his might against the rebellious rabble he so despised, yet even a skilled swordsman such as he was doomed when confronted with a citywide uprising. Please tell me he died. The haughty Archnean was taken prisoner by the enraged mob, and so his life was forfeit. He spent his final moments in inconceivable agony. Good! The rebels did not permit him to die until his spirit and body were completely and utterly broken. This is a win. This is all I care about. This is a win. I'm calling this a win. I don't care. I don't care. I only sided with the rebels because I needed to destroy this man. And I said I don't care if he dies or if he's exiled. I just want him destroyed. I am so happy with this ending now. Long after the once invincible Dorius Otton was no more, the corpse of the mighty Archnean remained chained to the Anazote gate. Oh, okay. How long did they leave him up there? Oh, what happened to Borne? We were a good team, buddy. Prefect Augustin Borne never saw his lifelong dream come to fruition. The revolt crumbled, and the long-awaited change it promised was cut short. He joined the rest of Anazote's defenders in the final fight. The prefect was captured and stripped of his noble title for the crime of treason, then hanged in disgrace. You know what, man? You sacrificed yourself for the cause, and I appreciate that. That's fine. Good job. Borne faced death with dignity and did not utter a single word of regret for what he had done. Yeah. The former prefect is remembered as one of the leaders of the revolt, though he did not live long enough to witness the coming of a new age. You know what? Good for you, though. Good for you. You stuck by your principles. I respect you. I'll respect you. I'll continue to go out into the world and talk good about you, Borne. As one of the leaders of the rebellion, Leonard saw no mercy from the overseer. By the order of Gaius Tempest, he was arrested and handed over to the Inquisition. I don't care about you. You did not side with me. I saved your life. And then you were like, I'm not going to help you because you didn't help me become patriarch. No, not good enough. No, I saved you. Screw you. They branded the abbot a heretic and sentenced him to be burned at the stake. He faced his suffering and death with dignity, never renouncing his beliefs. Leonard is remembered by the New Believers as the greatest preacher of his day, and honestly, for a religious figure, being a martyr like this is one of the best things you can do. But among Old Believers, he left an undying legacy as a nemesis of the Church who violated the twins' divine design. Martyr's better than patriarch, buddy. You're welcome. Oh, became of Thomas! Oh! By the time the revolt had set Anazote ablaze, Thomas Guerra was already living a new life with his family far from the city. It seemed as though he could finally enjoy a peaceful life. But a few months later, the rebellion reached the sleepy village where your friend and his wife had put down roots. A horde of rebels approached the village where they lived, and most of the villagers joined them, eager to loot and pillage their very own community. Thomas fought desperately for his life and livelihood, but he was torn limb from limb by his former neighbors. Oh no, Thomas, you didn't go far enough away. No, Thomas. It came of Octavia. That being that was once Octavia Melanidas departed from this world forever without a trace. It was as though neither the beautiful young Arcanian lady nor the enigmatic being she became ever existed. See, I thought I was going to go live with Thomas now in whatever little village he was living in, because I was like, oh, I can, like, you know, just give them a new name and, like, you know, live a new life with Thomas and his wife. But so I like to think that I was there to defend him, you know? All the knowledge of the Lautari was lost forever, along with the legacy of Octavia Melanidas. Alright, good night, Grim. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. What became of Sophia? I know what became of her. It was your duty to stop Sophia. The leader of the last straw was executed by your hand. Not my hand! By my order, but not by my hand. Excuse you. That did not happen. Stop spouting lies. Some remember her forever as a great freedom fighter who struggled for the good of the common folk. Others call her a vicious murderer who threatened to raze the empire to the ground. She was like in between. A little bit from column A, a little bit from column B. My family! You defended the family home from the frenzied mob. Thanks to your efforts, the Brante family survived the dreadful night that followed. But this challenge was only the first of many. The Brantes had to survive in the besieged city and fend off more attacks on the family estate until the Legion finally returned to Anizote. The family never sided with the revolt, and so they were spared the overseer's ire. Once the rebellion was suppressed, they sought to return to their old life. But the city continues to simmer with unrest, and the family will never find peace until the disturbances end. Unable to thrive, the Brantes continue to fight tooth and nail just to survive. You know what? That's how we started. That's how we're ending. What became of Robert? Your father lost his status, his career, and his home. He lost our home? Our house? You were supposed to defend the house. What did you do? The rebellion destroyed Robert Brante's life and gave him nothing in return. When the world changed, your father found himself unable to adapt and found a new place in it. He had no choice but to abandon his ambitions and live in obscurity. His family was all he had left, so he dedicated himself to caring for its well-being. Okay. Gloria? Oh, look, she died, I know. Your mother passed away, I was there, from illness long before these events transpired. Yeah. Lydia Brante was not there to see what became of her family. Yeah, we lost it all for the family home. We didn't even keep the family home. I killed him. That's what happened to Stephen. I was there. Stephen never had a chance to affect the struggle for Anizote or decide the fate of the Brante family. Thank God. He was killed in a duel long before these events came to pass. Imagine this whole thing if Stephen were there. Like, arguing with us every step of the way. Oh my God. He died by your hand and never made a mark on history. Good. It's for the best. What became Gloria? Gloria didn't take the failure of the revolt well. Unbeknownst to the rest of the family, she continued to aid what remained of the rebellion. Go you! Your sister dedicated herself to stoking the simmering coals of unrest in the city and uniting the rebellion's disparate remains. For every poem and pamphlet she wrote quickly spread throughout Anizote. Good for her. But in the end, she was robbed of her chance to see the fruits of her labor. The secret chancellery eventually caught wind of the rebellious poet. Gloria was snatched off the street and sent to the imperial dungeon. She was never seen again. Her poetry, however, continued to roam free, inspiring the common folk to fight for their freedom. I think that's the way she'd like it. I mean, obviously it's not preferred, but I think she's happy with that. As long as her word is still out there and she's still having an effect, that's what she wanted. Because her poetry wasn't very good, let's be real, so she should be happy that people are still reading this. Your younger brother survived the revolt. When it passed, he found the strength to start his life anew. You had given him a glimmer of hope that he nurtured within his soul, and it helped him to accept the common lot as his path to the peak of the pillar. He dedicated the rest of his life to prayer, toil, and humility. The suffering he had endured in his spiritual quest became the foundation of his faith. When the end came, Nathan departed to the twins' final judgment without fear. You know what? As long as he's happy, that's what matters. Gregor, he died. Thank God. Not even the afterlife did Gregor Brante see. Not in the afterlife did Gregor Brante see the realization of his great dream. His descendants failed to have the Brante name ennobled by the sword. Honestly, I'm kind of happy about that, just to spite you. The Brante bloodline was denied its chance to become one of the Empire's most eminent dynasties, and that's fine. The blood tide ushered in by Gregor Brante would never have another chance at immortality. That's fine. Family cult can die with Stephen, I guess. Unable to affect the outcome of the struggle for Anizote, you decided to flee the city. But the Imperial authorities already know your name. You are wanted as one of the insurgents who started the revolt. A small fortune has been promised to anyone who can take you alive. The rebellion also remembers the name Brante, as a notorious traitor who fled when he could have led them to the moment of truth. I couldn't, though. Didn't you see my options? They should have seen. If I died, it wouldn't have actually helped anything. The People's Court has already found you guilty. That's fine. I tried real hard, I know. I was so close. I just should have told my family to just go die. You spend the rest of your days in hiding, moving from one well-populated city to the next. You live your life on the run, hunted by the Empire, pursued by the rebellion's executioners. But in spite of it all, your life has remained your own, and now, on these very pages, you will tell your tale. A tale of the life and suffering of Sir Brante. I guess I needed some suffering in there somewhere. True death. The hour of your true death has come. Your soul has left your body, never to return. You are taken to the peak of the shining pillar. Every moment separates you more and more from the mortal realm. The link that once bound you to it is gone forever. You look up to see two divine visages watching you intently. The elder twin gazes upon you full of sorrow and compassion. The younger examines you dispassionately, seeing your every act and thought. You have ascended from the mortal realm. From here, you are but one step away from partaking in eternal bliss atop the peak of the shining pillar. But first you must be judged by them, just as every other soul born into this world has been judged since time immemorial. Only their judgment can decide whether you deserve to remain atop the peak or be hurled down to the foot. Oh, what will they think? I didn't even consider this. You stand before the twins. Your very essence is laid bare before them, all the secrets of your inner self revealed in full. Your soul is like an open book to them, one that preserves the story of your entire life. You know what? Otton's dead and I don't care. That's all that matters to me. You lie prostrate before the gods. The time, they should understand. They know, right? The time has come to take responsibility for your mortal life. And the elder twin asks, are you thankful to the gods for the life you live? I refuse to submit to them. I'm calm. Regret it? I don't regret it. Despise them. I'm thankful. I don't know if I'm thankful. I'm not glad it's over. I feel calm. I don't refuse to submit. Like, that's a dumb fight. I'm not gonna pick a fight with these gods. I feel like I'm not in a position. I'm calm. You know what? I'm okay with things. People aren't poor or hungry. That's good. And, you know, Otton's dead, and that's good. And I'm happy with that. There, hear your answer. Compassion and remorse fill the immeasurably deep eyes of the elder twin. He turns to face his divine brother, who returns his gaze with an expression of stern remorse. The elder twin asks you once more, what was your life to you? Okay. Struggle. Toil. Creation. I didn't create anything. Service? No. Enlightenment? No. Empathy. I say struggle. Like, we struggled. It was a struggle. The elder twin bows his head wearily, considering your response, but the stern visage of the younger already looms above you. Human by the name of Brante, what did you live for? A cause. Killing Otton, I'd say. Principles. Not really about my principles. Like, I had one specific thing I wanted to do. A cause. The younger's gaze lingers on your bare, defenseless soul. The divine figure continues his stern interrogation. What did you leave behind? Nothing. Achievement, legacy, home, doctrine, order are definitely a change. I left behind change is what I left behind. Like, things are happening. The younger twin now moves toward you with clear intent, poised to render his judgment, but the older twin restrains his brother with a gesture. Are you not done? You still got more questions? A divine voice fills you once again. Did your life make the world we made better and more perfect? It did not become better. It's not for me to judge. I'm a judge, but I'm not this kind of judge. Cannot be changed. I'll say I don't know. To be honest. I don't know, hard to tell. Very complicated. The younger twin is silent, his eyes two swords piercing your soul. The elder twin speaks to you again, but you already know the question. The very same question that caused you so much suffering shortly before your true and final death. What determined your destiny? I feel like myself. No one? Human life is an exercise in chance. I mean, it's not complete. I'm comfortable saying myself. Our stats, yeah, exactly. It's not fun saying myself, I guess. The world around me, but like, I mean, I don't want to think like everything that happened, like, because this is like, I'm powerless. Everyone else has power, and they're just pushing me around. All my decisions are not really mine. I don't like that higher power. No. No one is not right. I'm going to say myself. The twin gods exchange a glance that lasts a brief moment and all eternity. Then the hand of the elder twin reaches out to you, glowing with light and warmth. The gods offer you an unprecedented opportunity to change your destiny, to rewrite the book of your life, to play it again and go new routes, huh? Would you like to take a different path in life? We'll say yes, or else we're not going to play it through again, but I'm going to say yes, because kind of I think what the game wants you to do, and I don't want to say no. I'll never say no to more lives. You reach out to the massive hand of the elder. It lifts you up, and you are enveloped in warmth and love. You want to stay like this forever. But you must return to the life you knew. The elder twin's hand releases you. You fly down to the mortal world once more. Oops. Continue. Okay. Whoosh. Quit to the main menu. And that is it. Wow. Beat 2 games this week. Beat Paranormicite and The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante. Amazing. Wow. Hooray. Yeah, so much in 1 week. It's like so many endings coming right at us. Pow pow. So yeah. And then Saturday we're trying Demonologist is what's coming up next. And this clears the way for a new game. So I'm gonna be finding some other game that's like a reading-based, story-driven game. But that one will still be just 1 day a week. I didn't like having 2 of them going. Like, it's not a problem, but 1 or 2 days, depending on how I feel about how the story goes. But I really only like 1 of these sorts of games at any one time. So I got stuck with 2 of them because I did not realize that this game was so long. So, yeah, so, I'll pick up a new one of those, and then Saturday we're trying out Demonologist, but that's like not a series or anything, so that's fine. So we'll try that out, and then someday next week, we'll start a new reading story-based game, and then I have some ideas for what I want to do, but I haven't quite decided, so we'll see. And then I also want to play Medieval Dynasty. I've been playing that all on my own in my own time a lot. a lot. And I'm gonna start a new file and a new save and play that next week. 2 days because I really like this game. So, and I just want more excuse to play it. since I'm playing it anyway, might as well stream it. But yeah, but I'll start over because I learned a lot while I've been playing it, so I will be less bad at it. But I meant to just like dabble in it and try it out for a little bit just to get a gist, so I wasn't like fumbling too much. But it was really fun. So anyway, we'll play Medieval Dynasty. It's like a survival RPG game. So it is fun. I'll probably play that probably Sunday and Tuesday, and next Thursday will probably be our next like story-based game, I think. Probably. We'll see. But yeah, but my schedule will be up on my Twitter on Sunday. So that's when I will know for certain. But in the meantime, probably Sunday at least will be Medieval Dynasty. And then Saturday is already set, and it is Demonologist at 8 p.m. PST. So yeah, so that's it for this game. It was a pretty good game, I think. The ending kind of like was kind of sad that like we didn't get a good ending or an interesting ending, and like we kind of lost in the end. But again, my goal was for Otton to die, and he did. And like I said, that's all I care about. So, you know, I'm satisfied. Mission accomplished. And we didn't even die. We ran away. We put all of our little toy soldiers into place and let them just go on their own and do our work for us. But we set it up, and that's what matters, you know? So, but yeah. Anyway, good stream. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting. People who were lurking, people stopped in and said hi. People who didn't say hi and were lurking. Thank you everyone for watching. And keeping me company. But yeah. So, okay, I'm gonna click off of this now and the music will stop because, no, the music didn't stop. Wow. I thought normally the music stops. This is really weird. The music kept going. Anyway, strange. But perfect. But yeah, so yeah, so that's it. I'll be back on Saturday. And yeah, have a good few days until then. Goodbye.